Aussie. 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 Angry. Aussie.
Hello, yes, I am making video. Here, talky bit. Video for some eggnog I've made. Hello, Dontron and Heine. Let me just get that ready. That's ready. Right, that's ready. Ooh, okay. Let's zoom in a bit. Let me check that. Just had to reframe my camera. Oh, yes, that is looking fine and dandy. All right, let's get this going. All right, my little recipe up. Come on, what are we doing? What are we doing? What the fuck are we doing? Why is it playing up? There we go. G'day, cocktail lovers. Round 2 of eggnog. Eggnog of the week, number 2. This one we could call an award-winning eggnog on a somewhat limited scale. There's one of the websites that I use regularly as an inspiration for cocktails is punchdrink.com. And they semi-regularly do an article where it's like, in search of the perfect, drink. And what they do is they get some pretty good bartenders to submit their recipe for the best version of a given drink. Then they make them and blind taste them and rank them. And I think it was last Christmas, they did eggnogs, and I'm going to do my version of the one that won in the blind tasting. Now, just checking this, it was Sarah Morrissey's eggnog. And in the details, I'll put the exact recipe, and it's for one drink. It's one egg. It's designed to be made one-off in a shaker. Me, I wanted a batch of it, so I used 6 eggs rather than 1, and so I ramped up all the ingredients by a factor of 6 as well, and I played around. Now, Sarah's recipe just said brandy. I thought, I'm going to be a bit different. I'm going to do a mix of cognac and some whiskey. Ugh. Sarah's recipe said to use brandy, but I'm actually splitting it between some cognac and some rum. In fact, spiced rum. And honestly, with eggnog, I think this is where spiced rum comes into its own. This is actually a good one, but even your Captain Morgans and such like that are often derided for having a poor quality spirit that they're trying to cover with flavors. Eggnog's what they're made for, I think, because it's not like you're going to get the subtleties of a good rum in an eggnog. So those flavors in a spiced rum, I reckon they're great for an eggnog. So that base is split between those two. And then there is some coffee liqueur. I'm using Blasphemy. Technically not a coffee liqueur. It's a coffee-infused whiskey. But I'm a wild and crazy man. No one can stop me. And it called for vanilla liqueur. I'm using Liquor 43. And it also said use some cinnamon sugar syrup rather than syrup. Sorry, cinnamon sugar syrup rather than sugar. Well, that's I didn't realize that was a tongue twister till I tried to say it. So I'm using my spiced apple sugar syrup. It's with brown sugar and it's cinnamon and other cooking spices in there. So I think that's going to go well. There's cream in there. And because I was looking at more than one recipe, no, because Sarah's had those cheeky little extras. Oh, put some coffee in there, put some vanilla in there, And I've seen other recipes that throw in all sorts of things. They say, oh, put some cherry hearing. Sometimes it's fruit juice. Sometimes they say a bit of lime juice, a bit of orange juice. And one that caught my eye was someone saying using pimento dram or allspice dram. I thought, yeah, my little twist, I'm going to put some pimento dram in there as well. So this is considerably more complicated than the last one I made. But you know what? I'm thinking it's going to be worth it. Here's how I made it. I started off with 6 eggs in a mixing bowl and whipped them up. Then I added 6 ounces of cream to that and whipped that in. And then we did the booze elements. I put 3 ounces of my sugar syrup, and then I put 3 ounces of the Liquor 43 vanilla liqueur. And I put 3 ounces of the coffee liqueur in there. And then I put 6 ounces of the brandy in and 6 ounces of the spiced rum. And then I remembered my little twist at the end. So I put 3 ounces of pimento dram in. I whipped all that till it was thoroughly mixed. And then I put it in the fridge for a while. Although you can actually do eggnog hot as well. I decided serving wise, there should be a crushed Biscoff rim on this. And a little extra touch, I just grated some nutmeg over the top. Which gives us what I think is a pretty extravagant eggnog, and giving it a taste. My word, that is boozy. Wow, this tastes like a caramel coffee milkshake. Wow, this is over the top. And it's actually got real depth of flavor. Those little individual flavors, they're not wasted. They actually come through at different times. This is going to be dangerous because this is a pretty boozy eggnog. And I made enough for 6 serves. And there's probably more than 1 serve in this cup, actually. But I'm going to soldier on, and I'm going to keep marching towards the next couple of weeks and a few twists. And we are building up to my 3-month aged eggnog. So stay tuned for that. It'll either be good, bad, or might kill me. Who knows? You'll know if you stay tuned. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed to see what happens. Until then, cheers. All right, that's good enough. Done. Got a really boozy eggnog. Gonna sit down and have it. All right, turn that off, turn that off. All right, turn this off. Bring the chair around. Retire the chickens, at least for a while. All right. Sorry, Don Toronto, I'm just taking the chickens away now. Just the thing I do when I'm making a video. There we go. Yeah, look, honestly, aged eggnog sounds like a terrible idea, doesn't it? It's eggs and milk and cream. And man, I been aging at it'll be 3 months by the time I try it, which will be in about 2 weeks. My God, this one's really good though. It's super boozy. Man, that little bit of coffee in there. Vanilla, caramel. It's good. Let's go with the Discord. Where are we on the Discord? So, okay. So yes, you were making class stuff. All right. I'm going to get these pictures open and give a description. So you're saying you had a nice little hammer bubbler going quite cold. Dock doors to your shop blew open. Cold air hit the piece and it shattered. Wowzers. You'll make something else with the scrap so it's not a total loss. Liked how it was turning off. Did something earlier today. You haven't done 30 years. Okay, so I want to share the pictures of the thing. 39 Fahrenheit. Some parts of Australia are higher than that Celsius at the moment. But yes, okay, so these pickies. So there we are, merrily glass blowing away. And then oof, Shatteroony. Breakage, breakage, breakage. Dang. Oh, you're playing on the park in the swing. Swing in the park. That's really cool. My thumbnail looks like a sandpiper. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'll do this. So is it a thing that people have gotten into putting denim on bongs? Well, oops, that zoomed in a lot. That's an old pair of jeans. Look at those, got the button and everything. Oh, they use a little coin pocket to hold the lighter. Okay. Yep. That's pretty weird, quite honestly. Yeah, I guess you're right. Any glass blower is going to go. Breakage is just a thing that happens. Yeah. Yeah, you'd have to have a philosophical approach, really. Oh, that's an interesting philosophy. Correcting your mistakes in real time separates a master from a novice. Nice. I just love the exploration of something that's a combination of an art and a craft. Man, tell you what, these eggnog get me fucked up, man. Mm. Durabo, TV show idea. Alien invasion of inscrutable horror murder creatures, but neurodiverse people seem this cute, and the monsters think neurodiverse people are just the best. With the murderous aliens just looking for friends all along. Oh yeah, that's because it's such an ancient art, glass blowing. I think you're absolutely right about a primal aspect, like blacksmithing. A friend who's a blacksmith. The arts and crafts that humans have done for so long. Like, sorry, this is really boozy, and I'll really regret if I drink it fast, but it's just really yummy. Mm. Little coffee note is quite interesting because I don't like coffee, but if I put a little bit of something that's coffee flavored in, it's fine. So what blows your mind, guys? Oh yeah, no. Yes. Well, there's the whole the apprentices of the bellows. You imagine the real pioneers, and as you say, with a really physical environment that they were doing it in. Oof. God damn, this is really fucking good. Mm. Very rich, this one. Oof. Tasty, tasty, tasty. Well, I don't regret making that, that's for sure. It possibly could be diluted a little bit more because they normally have eggs, cream, and milk, and this one just has eggs and cream. But that combo of flavors is really good. So you're okay, even just in 14 years, everything's changed. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. There used to be about 60 colors. Now there's over 1,000. See, humans, endlessly creative, something that's been around for hundreds of years. People still find new things to do with it. I love that. Ugh. Mm. Mm. All right. I just realized I don't have my soda water in here. Might be super responsible. I still got a decent whack of the eggnog here. I think I'll put it back in the fridge rather than drink it all, even though it's really yummy. Might go and get my big glass and some soda water. Hey, Safa, lots of rain. We got a bit of rain late in the day here. It took till quite late in the day, like almost 5 o'clock. It wasn't heavy rain, but there was rain. Next couple of days is meant to be raining. Oh God, this is so fucking yummy, and it's so boozy, and I'm going to be so shit faced. So in your show, Dr. Abigail, the neurotypicals running, screaming, hiding in homes, bodies everywhere, or just doing their things. ADHD folk running amok in the basement. Oh dear, there's a lot of scope there. A lot of scope. Mm. Oh my wordy, wordy, wordy. That's really going to fuck me up, that drink. Because it doesn't, it does taste boozy, but like I said, it mostly tastes like sort of caramel coffee milk. Oh, yes, I did see that Doctor Who's there on Sunday. Okay. So, yes. Okay. So I watched the Netflix movie The Killer. I like Michael Fassbender. And yes, they never really addressed it, but they were trying to very strongly imply the killer had autistic tendencies. But here's okay. I enjoyed it. Watch it if you want. But two things. He looked so guilty all the time. It's like, I'm a professional and no one, but he's always going, oh man, is that person looking at me? Oh man, is that person looking at me? Oh man. He was like acting so guilty all the time. And also, he had a million fake IDs to travel internationally, murdering people. And they all had joke names. They were all TV characters. And I don't know if that was to separate out everyone younger than Gen X because they were old TV character names. But I was just going, okay, he's trying to stay under the radar, but he's using joke names that people are going to remember. Oh, Lou Grant, like the TV show. And it's like someone would recognize the joke names. And his whole thing is, I do love that tourist disguise unironically matches your day-to-day style. Does that mean you're a killer? But like he's trying to blend in and not be memorable. But he's doing these joke names that people are going to remember. I'm picking Nets. Yes. I think, they might have used Pat as the model for him, honestly, Safa. Yeah, and that was the whole thing. And again, it's minor picks. And I don't know if they were meant to be Easter eggs, but I think the names were super obvious for Gen X and older, and pretty obvious for anyone who's into TV trivia, no matter their age. So I was kind of like, really? Really? He's being unmemorable, yet he's doing joke names that, just like the TV thing. That and the way he constantly looked guilty cracked me up. But I enjoyed it. And yeah, Michael Fassbender's pretty good. I was very glad, although they were very obviously giving him autistic tendencies, I was very glad that nobody ever said anything about it. Oh, I know Gogol 13. Yeah, Golgo, is it Golgo 13? I've watched that. Yes. Yes, Japanese James Bond, if James Bond was totally mine. God, that was like 90s, wasn't it? I feel like I watched that forever ago. Safa, you know, Woolies does do the members card thing. You mean with booze? That's the only one I care about. Oh, holy shit. Was it that long ago? Gorgo was early 80s. Man, maybe I watched it on VHS in the 80s. I just remember watching it a long time ago. Oh, and they actually made a series. Okay, I didn't know that. I just watched the movie. Talking about dance stuff, man, they got me. Someone on Facebook showed me a particular Starward whiskey that's normally about $150. Dan's was doing a deal for like 80 something, just a ridiculous markdown. And I couldn't resist. And then they also had my favorite, Nova, which is normally about 110, down to 80 something. And so, fuck it, save on postage. I'm getting them both. Also got I got some backup cocktail cherries while I was at it. Well, so the longest running manga from 1963. God damn, it's older than me. That's saying something. And fooding. Oh, I made pizza tonight. It was good. And I saved some for breakfast because if I'm going to like smash it tonight, pizza for breakfast is what I want. So I had half a pizza now, half thing. Yeah, it was basically Dan's Black Friday stuff. In fact, their Black Friday stuff, they had a lot of bargains. There were a lot of tempting things there. But I absolutely could not resist the fucking Solera at, God, really close to half price. Yes, well, it's the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who. First started in 1963. And we're about to get 60th anniversary. Discord. Oh, okay. An anime inspiration. I'm going to love anime inspiration. Where's... Oh, it hasn't shown up. Whatever you posted hasn't shown up. Oh, wait. No, it has. What? Okay. So something that anime inspire. What is this? What scale is this? Is this 1-to-1? Or is this a scale model? I'm just going to show while we were talking about the sniper. Dang. An actual, yes, you're American. It's an actual rifle with about $6,000 worth of upgrades. God damn, dude. Okay, here's where I'm a complete hypocrite, and I'll just own it. Like I worry about gun culture in America because it's not so much that guns implicitly bad, but it is too easy for complete idiots to get guns, I think. Ooh, okay. Hang on a sec. I'm going to disappear for una secundo.
Do you?
Yeah, it looks cool.
Ah.
You're going to get lots of comments. That looks very cool. All right. Look, I won't even put the chickens in chat. Well, maybe I'll play some elevator music while I disagree. Oh, yeah. See, that was the whole thing. Like, basically, if it was as difficult to get a gun as a driver's license, that'd be enough. And yeah, background checks, particularly for domestic violence, that's a really bad indicator. But again, so The gun culture. If I came and visited you, I'd want to fucking shoot that gun. I would so want to shoot that gun. I love target shooting. Safa, I don't actually know what the government cyber deal for small business announced was. I'm sorry, I actually don't know what you're referring to. Oh, it actually wasn't takeaway. I had dinner with them Wednesday. Last night was impromptu. It was a little catch up, and I thought it'd be over before the stream, and then it wasn't. We were having fun, so I didn't come home. Okay, well that's okay because yeah, domestic violence is such a bad indicator of someone who's going to do something worse. Anyway, I'm going to put some elevator music on. I won't put the chickens back. I'll just put elevator acoustic cinematic. There we go. I'm just going to put lo-fi on. I like lo-fi. Lo-fi beats. I'm gonna go get some ice. Okay, I won't be long. All right. Back. My glass. There's no water. My turn. Elevator music. I might leave it on, but turn it down. Okay. Oh. Yeah, it's like people still don't know what that actually was. And I think the explosion killed the two people who were in the car. And like no one else. That's really weird. That's a legit call, Dr. Abigail, honestly. Like when I say I made pizza, it was supermarket frozen pizza. I did add a couple of toppings. But it's possibly a bit grandiose to say I made pizza. It does seem like the people had explosives in the car and they detonated when they didn't want them to, or the detonation didn't have the effect they wanted, or it was just a really flamboyant suicide. Oh yeah, no, I really, I actually, it wasn't much. It was like bacon and extra cheese on my pizza, basically. It was good though. Chuck it in the air fryer. And like I said, save half for breakfast. Future me is really going to thank past me. I hopefully won't be too seedy in the morning / when I say breakfast, it might be really close to lunch by the time I surface. You know, that just the way it be sometimes. Yep, there you go. Brothers in pizza toppings, Dontron. Yeah, it's based on what I have. It's definitely based on what I have. Oh. Sometimes I go to town. There's a thing I'd like to make: just chop up some onions, maybe capsicum, mushroom, garlic, and pan. Well, fry is the wrong word, I guess. We like saute that in a pan. Just cook those so all the flavors coming out, and then put them on top of a pizza, or even just a sandwich. Actually, sourdough. Ooh, sourdough baguette with that. And yes, I understand your focus on pineapple, Dr. Abigail. I am a big fan of mushrooms. I'll like make pasta. That same sort of veggie combo with pasta and a sauce, whether it be a cream sauce or a tomato sauce. Top it with cheese. Maybe put some bacon on the top too and bake that. I love doing pasta bakes. I think I've mentioned before. I used to make things in a sandwich press at work, and I use the sandwich press to actually saute the onion and capsicum and mushroom. So you put some baking paper down so you don't make a mess, and melt a little bit of butter on that, and just put some onions and capsicum and mushroom on that, and then just cook them lightly, and then put the bread in and toast that, and then put the sandwich together, and people would act like I was a fucking master chef. And I was like, those 3 ingredients. Oh, Dontron, don't get into the pineapple debate. Heidi, RGB keyboard. AI wallpaper generator. Still searching for RGB options. There you go. But I got a little tripped, and this shows how old I am. I remember looking at Young Ms. Angry's wallpaper once. She had big ass high def monitors because she's gaming all the time, and she had animated wallpaper, which is obviously not a big deal, but I'm old enough to be impressed and go, you couldn't do that back in my day. Yum. Okay. And just a little bit of my clarified cocktail to the soda water. So it's a very low ABV drink. And it's just got, and I put some really strong flavors in that cocktail so that it'd carry through. And then diluting it with soda water. So it's subtle, but there are all these interesting flavors come in. I don't use animated wallpaper on my phone either. Yes. Oh my God. And we're always going for fancy screensavers as well that would overheat your processor. Oh God, we always talk about these first PCs. Mine was it was an Intel chip one. It was when Pentiums came out. They were selling older computers cheaper. It was originally an SX33, so a 33 megahertz processor, and the guy in the shop upgraded it to a DX66. So yeah, my first computer had a 66 megahertz processor, 4 megabytes of RAM, not gigabytes, megabytes, 4 megabytes of RAM. There were 4 memory slots, and the technology at the time was each card could be between 1 and 4 megabytes, and I had 4 single 1 megabyte cards. God damn. A maths coprocessor. Yeah. All the good stuff. All the good stuff there. Do. Just randomly feel like doing a taste comparison between the 2 whiskeys I'm getting from Dan Murphy's. Oh God, I remember when that was all the talk. Flops, floating point operations. Oh, yeah. It's very funny. Various people in the computer industry have said ridiculously short-sighted things. There was someone very high up in IBM uh, said, like, they can't see a reason for anyone to have a computer in their home. You remember when 6 kilobytes was already needed? That was a quote attributed to Bill Gates, and I'm not sure if it's true. Well, let's not that I necessarily believe the internet, but let's have a look and see. Gates megabytes. Okay, no, that was not good Google foo. So we'll put Bill Gates quote. Oh, okay. Did Gates really say? Oh gosh, an article from 1997. Earlier this week, in a column on Bill Gates, Felicio, and the media, and how all three relate a profile of Gates in last week's Time magazine, this column offered daring-free soft. I've got one for you. Message to hacker. Gates said 640K is more memory than anyone will need. So a bunch of people said Gates said that. Gates denies he ever said anything. All right, so okay, here's a fun aside. A woman emailed in outrage that I had used the word blowjob in a public forum. You're disgusting, she messaged. How dare you use a word like blowjob in your column, you fucking moron. All right, so that's interesting. They're saying that quote's not real. Not into conspiracy theories. Cavalier reply. Oh, that's why he got divorced. Seriously, that is a big one. Divorced. His wife couldn't stand the Epstein shit. No. Gates that's a really fucked up thing. Yeah. No, his wife was not okay with him hanging out with Epstein. Rightly so. More power to her. Sorry. Did Gates think Epstein could rehabilitate Gates's public image? I don't get it. Oh, look, none of the people who are associated with Epstein, and some really well-known people just very casually associated with Epstein. The list is long, and they're all dodgy as fuck. It's redonkulous. I remember back in the day, in the 90s, when Microsoft was very much a boys' club, and it wasn't that big even, but Gates had a lot of money. He'd, take his inner circle out to strip clubs and then pay the strippers to come back with them and like swim nude in his pool while all the nerds sat around with their drink, finding it difficult to make eye contact. Oh gosh, Prince Andrew's the fucking worst. It's just like, yeah, his lies are so obvious that I don't sweat. And obviously calling him a sweaty creep was just a general insult. No, that dude is so friggin' dodgy. And it's just like seriously, what he should have done is shut the fuck up. It's just, Jesus. That's friggin' wild. All right. I'm going to do a little whiskey tasting just because I can. Okay, get my whiskey tasting devices. You might think they're just called glasses because you're not a professional like me. They're whiskey tasting devices. Okay, so VF Nova. Wo ist Solera? All right, Nova and Solera. And I think the ones I'm getting are in the new bottles, which kind of looks sleek, but I'll miss the starbursts painted on the bottles. Okay, so Nova. Und Solera. All right. Nova and Solera. Quality Australian single malts. Dr. Jones, how are you doing? And it's our very own Golgo 13. Pat, how you doing? And Ray, sorry, you snuck in too. Dontron needs a snack. That's okay. Snacks are good. Okay. This Nova and Solera. Yes, vibes. The vibes are unmistakable. Dontron, new drink. A shot. Oh, well, I'd be very intrigued. All right, so what is this? Raspberry vodka, Southern Comfort, cranberry juice, and lime juice. As the cranberry and lime elements would make an interesting one. All right, I'm gonna try that. I was really surprised. I was messing about with some other YouTubers who have cocktail channels on a live stream on someone else's channel. I think it was only last weekend. I did a shot of an Amaro and what was it? Oh yeah, overproof rum, Smith and Cross Jamaican rum, and it was surprisingly good. I did it as a joke. Hello, hello, Kirsten. And I don't know if you noticed it. Oh, you probably would have because you're in the Friends of Starwood Facebook group. Someone in Friends of Starwood posted Dan Murphy's was selling Starwood Solera for $80-something instead of $150. And I wasn't going to buy anything in the Black Friday sales, but that's impossible to resist. So I got it. And also, the Nova's on special this week, so fuck it, I got another bottle of Nova as well. I like how light Nova is. It's got that slight cinnamon spiciness. It's a little bit fruity. A really light honey sweetness. So, Dr. Jones, you've realized can't eat anything wasabi. See, That could just be that could be a semi-allergic or fully allergic reaction to it. Safra, I'm probably not even half Tim Smith, but I'm getting there. And yes, it is date night tomorrow, so I won't be on tomorrow night. We might get rained on because we always choose venues we can reach on public transport. And we might get rained on between the public transport and the venue. Oh, husband is dying, so you don't get the keys for another 9 days. But you get them, so that's good. Right. Difference with Solera. It's definitely a different sort of sweetness, sort of deeper, maybe a bit more burn. Is Solera higher proof? 43, so not much. 41 and 43%. So neither of them are high proof. Solera feels like it has a bit more heat. Pat, I'm good. How are you doing? Trashy Burn is a rental. Ah, well, screw them. No, very, very, very different. Nova, of course, is a very generic term. So, all right, I'm just going to show this off because I'm very parochial and proud of local. This is from a local distillery called Starwood whiskey distillery. And their Nova single malt is one of my favorite things. Oh God, is it inconvenient? Are they wanting to let people do inspections while you're still living there? Is that the thing? Can't fix water problems. Can't afford to pressure wash to the driveway. I can see that being annoying. I see that actually Starwood's, they've just revamped their bottles. I think their bottles are much more eye-catching now. And they're embarking on a huge advertising campaign. Basically seems to be whiskey that's young and funky. And, you know, good luck to them. I hope it works. They can't afford the house to be empty. Okay, so Solera is it's got a richer taste, but and it's a bit more spicy. I do prefer Nova. Oh God, I should go and get some ice, and I might just turn these samples into an old-fashioned. But I need to go and get some ice. Oh, we kind of got revenge. Sorry, our last rental landlord, we finally moved out just because he was a piece of shit and I was sick of him. And then he decided to renovate. So I think it was like at least 10 months with no tenant and spending money on renovation. So it's like, fuck you, you piece of shit. You had a disturbing fact why there's a meth epidemic. $10 a gram, even if it was like less than a gram, that is terrifying. Yes, won't someone think of the poor landlord's wallet? Dontron, landlords are the fucking worst, honestly. Anyway, we're going to really quickly go out and get a bit of ice, and I'll be back. I'm not even going to put the chickens there because I'm 30 seconds. jump now. So, also, I'm going to do an experiment tomorrow. Maybe Sunday. Tomorrow or Sunday. Did I bring you? Going to try and make a clarified cocktail using eggnog rather than milk. See how it turns out. Yeah, no, a gram of meth is pretty dangerous. Oh, Strikasegi, hello. You're buying. I hope it goes well for you. You always go for the relaxants rather than the uppers. I don't know. I've done various things in my life in Minecraft. Not too much. Oh, that's boasting. Good for you, cuddling the giant fluffy cat. Kirsten, need to take photos. Nothing's changed. Nothing, even the curtains. God damn. Yeah. Yeah. Dr. Abigail, I don't know that anyone chasing the meth is that worried about the quality. I mean, certainly, Breaking Bad convinced us there was quality meth to be had. I'm not sure there is, though. Oh, God, I didn't get a fucking skewer. God damn it. You know what? I'm going to disappear again. Sorry. Hopefully this is the last time. Okay. Now I have everything I want. Okay. Gosh, darn it. Oh, good, you're going to post a picture of the curtains. You search Starwood Note. Yeah. No, that actually sounds like a pretty good price. And I know it's going to be more expensive than local whiskies. It costs a lot of money to send it to the US. That sounds like the right price. All right, let's put that in. Where's my sugar syrup? It's here somewhere. A little bit of sugar syrup because I'm sweet and deserve sweetness. Sweets for my sweet. Oh my goodness. Pour that in there. And whiskey bitters. Why not? Special whiskey bitters. Couple of dashes. And because I'm a fancy boy, I'm gonna get me a cherry. Oh yeah, no, the shipping thing. Interestingly, one of the things I read, I was mentioning the new bottles. The bottles are a new shape and very different labels on them, and I think they're very eye-catching, and I think it'll work for them. But yeah, I was seeing a thing from the distillery. The bottles are 30% lighter, which is a huge saving for the distillery on shipping, which makes great sense. But they're also into sustainability, and it lowers the carbon footprint for delivery quite a bit. So, win-win-win, really. Okay, there's only a couple of cherries in here, and I'm just randomly stabbing. I got one. Man, that took a while. So yeah, I like that bit of news that it's not only helping them with transport costs, it reduces the carbon footprint of the transport as well. So that's good. You want to get a ridiculous... Oh, God. You mean these, which I bought just for the skull. I mean, it was on special when I got them. I got 2 of them. Yes, the Dan Aykroyd crystal head. Yeah, well, Richard, that's the thing. I think some people, because of course Black Friday is rampant consumerism, and so some people said make it buy nothing day instead, because rampant consumerism is bad. I failed. I bought stuff. Oh, you're saying there's a specialty maker that makes the crystal head skulls? Neat. Oh, yes, Dr. Abigail, you have one too? They're very cool. A bit of orange peel. I'll even put 2 bits of orange peel. I like the release of the orange oils when you peel it and squeeze it onto the drink. Maybe wipe it around the glass so you get a little aroma of orange oil each time you take a sip. So from my pretty boy, did I miss something about the PM being called Pretty Boy? I don't know. I think I'm a pretty boy. So Shuki Sega used to... Oh, yes. Adbust. That's right. Adbusters would promote Buy Nothing Day. Oh, God, yeah. I mean, that shit made news around the world. The brutality of the Black Friday sales. Oh, neat. Richard, I was almost going to call today How Are the Leftovers Going Day, because I know from my North American friends who celebrate Thanksgiving, there's normally an enormous amount of leftovers the next day, and some people get very creative with how they do them. So I trust, Richard, that your leftovers are tasty. Yeah, Dontron, turkey sandwiches. Yeah, nice. Turkey on pizza, maybe? Get a pizza and chop up the turkey and put it on the pizza. That'd be good. Fuck yeah. Oh, that is tasty. Both Nova and Solera make a friggin' awesome old-fashioned. Oh yeah, I reckon turkey would be great with barbecue sauce. Here we have chicken pizzas with barbecue sauce. Turkey'd be good. So Dr. Jones, you tried a cocktail, a Gold Rusher, a penicillin. There's one called a well-known called a Gold Rush. Oh god damn, little truffle oil. Hell yes. God damn. I recently found this little cream sauce. It's like a pasta sauce, and they said like it's a truffle cream sauce, and it's really subtle, but like it's only a little jar, and I use it like in with some pasta and stuff, and it's such a little amount. It's not like the pasta is swimming in sauce, but the taste just permeates. It's so fucking yummy. It's my favorite thing. It's like a little jar like this, and it's like this wide. It's a small jar. It's like $7. Fucking worth it. It's so yummy. Oh, Dr. Jones, that's a good one. Turkey Alfredo. Yes. Sorry. Oh, sorry. I read that as people sleep in truffle oil. How do they sleep in truffle oil? No, truffle oil fucking rocks. Sorry, Dr. Abigail, you're a deep vegetarian. Well, I do sometimes, like I was talking about with the truffle oil cream sauce, I do regularly have it like with vegetarian pasta, just like mushroom and onion. Oh god damn, that's a good old fashioned. Yum. You don't want to spare the sauce with a lasagna, definitely. Yeah, but I was really amazed. It was like I got this little sort of cream truffle sauce. It was on special, and it was so good. And I just use it occasionally. I don't have it a lot, just every now and then. And I'm always just amazed by the taste because you can't. It's such a comparatively small amount of sauce. You don't really see it, but it coats all the pasta, and the taste is just friggin' awesome. Yes, Dr. Amigo doesn't rub it in the face. No. Rich is making an omelette at 5 a.m. Go for it. Is that early breakfast, very late dinner, late midnight snack? We just started talking about food. Oh god, that reminds me of the old meme about someone getting a text their dad is cooking at like 5 in the morning, cooking some lightly fried fish fillets. And the son's going, Dad, why are you in the kitchen? I'm making lightly fried fish fillets. Say lightly fried fish fillets again, Dad. Ooh, that's a nice tip. Pre-fried tofu in an Alfredo. Nice tip. Oh man, that's good. There is no doubt my number one cocktail is an old fashioned. I mean, I regularly find ones that I think are really yummy and enjoy. But yes, if the totalitarian police state said you're only allowed to have one cocktail for the rest of your life, it would be an old fashioned. And honestly, I could even like not cheat because an old fashioned is technically any spirit and sugar and bitters. And you can mess around with that a lot. But even if they wouldn't let me cheat and said, no, it's got to be with a single type of whiskey and a single sugar syrup, okay, just give me Nova. Start with Nova. Makes really fucking really good old fashions. Dontron, you say that. It's hard to screw up an old fashioned. People manage it though. Plus, you can just get so creative with it, with a split base, with different spirits, contrasting spirits, complementary spirits. There's so much you can play with, and different sugars to flavor it, and different bitters as well. Oh, good. I have to admit, I like a pita bread or various wraps, and just leftovers in a wrap, and I put it in a sandwich press, like leftovers of whatever, a bit of extra cheese, maybe a barbecue sauce or some nice sauce slightly in there. Wrap it up, put it in the sandwich press, and toast it. I friggin' love that. So good. That works with just about anything. Man, I'm going to drink some more soda water after this because this tastes so good. I want to make another one. I would be getting fucked up if I did that. Oh, a view carré. That would be great. And it's like, okay, I'll get the actual recipe for a view carré because that is actually one of my favorite. I love the boozy New Orleans cocktails. Vue Carré is probably the top up. So Vue Carré is normally equal parts whiskey, brandy, and sweet vermouth, a little bit of Benedictine, and you use Peychaud's bitters and Angostura bitters. So it's arguably a Manhattan riff, but you serve it like an old fashioned. So Manhattan is, like whiskey and sweet vermouth. And it's like splitting the base between whiskey and brandy.
and then you're splitting the vermouth between vermouth and Benedictine. But so you could argue it's like a Manhattan riff. It's friggin' great though. But yeah, people usually use rye in a Vieux Carré, but Nova would be really good in a Vieux Carré. Don Tron got water, Betty. Oh, cupped ramen? Why not? Why the hell not? Oh no, Chog, I succeeded Black Friday. I failed Buy Nothing Day. You just busy. I was going on. Dan Murphy's was selling this Starward Solera, a whiskey that normally goes for about $150. They were selling it, and they still are selling it for 80 odd. And this one, my favorite, Nova, which normally goes for, I don't know, 105 to 110, they're also selling that for 80 odd. Not as big a markdown, but a good markdown. So I was like, fuck it, I'm getting both of them. And also, because this is running, cherries are running low. So I also bought some cherries. Apparently they're going to deliver it tomorrow, which will be interesting. Yes, I did. I failed the task successfully. So Don Tron, you getting some ramen and then going to bed? That sounds fun. Oh yeah, no. Being awake when the sun rises fucks up your whole day. It's a while since I've done it, but it does. It fucks up your whole day. You're almost better trying to stay awake all through the day and just being a stumbling zombie and then just sleeping really solidly the next night. So Chog, you got a 4-pack of Bent Spoke. That's it. What is Bent Spoke? Is that a beer? Again, this old fashioned is so fucking good. I'm just gonna have to be really good and drink soda water for a while because okay, it's only just after 9, and if I drink more booze straight after this, I'll be so fucked up. But it's so good, and that's the thing. It's so tempting. It's so good. God damn. That's what I thought. Thought it'd be a beer. Honestly, that's not an extravagant purchase. So I said to Mrs. Angry, there's another local-ish distiller. If you know Melbourne geography, it's on the Mornington Peninsula, which is actually the other side of the bay to me. But it's only about an hour. It takes about an hour to drive there. Mrs. Angry and I had a weekend away there a while back. But yeah, this one there's a couple distilleries out there. This one, Bass and Flinders, they do really good stuff. And one, they do this spiced Christmas brandy that's fucking exceptional. And they only have it at Christmas. So last Christmas, I bought 2 bottles. And I'm just about, there's like this much left in the last bottle. So I ordered another 2 bottles for next year. Oh, Foster's fucking sucks, man. Australians, it's like a big joke from Australians that it goes around the world. No one in Australia drinks Foster's. Sweetwater beers. I mean, I'm not a beer drinker, but I'd experiment, man. Anything independent, I'll experiment with. Foodning. That's a classy thing to be doing, Dr. Abigail. Actually, you know what works? Okay, so all those weird fruity beers that are around at the moment. I got some for free. I was buying something from a bottle shop and they went, oh, and you get one of these for free. I went, I don't drink beer at all. They went, you could give them to someone. And I went, I guess I could. So I got this little 4-pack of this fruity beer and I did taste it and it was not to my taste, but I turned it into syrup and just distilled it down. Honestly, Dr. Abigail, I think fruity beer is not far from cider, quite honestly. So I put it on like in a saucepan on heat and simmered it down, like evaporated the water, and I added some sugar, and it was actually a pretty good syrup. Like it had a really nice taste, went really well in cocktails. No, I don't even mean IPAs. It's like these weird fucking fruity beers that are everywhere now. Chog, does that mean you like the fruity beers? I don't know. And I like cider. Yeah, okay, so we're all agreeing we like cider. My favorite cider is probably from a maker just out in Geelong. Again, an hour in a different direction, Melbourne. The Flying Brick cidery. I love that. Yeah. Kirsten, you got to decide to go to farmers markets. Do they have really good heritage tomatoes? I bet they taste really good. Safra, I feel like I have heard of Compot, but I'm not completely sure. So, Dontron, you introduced your fiance. Oh, wow. That's such a fucking... Oh, the Russell Mulcahy cinematography in Highlander is wild. Russell Mulcahy did advertising. Yeah, see, Dr. Abigail, I'm like with you. I hate a beer. I just don't like beer. I do like cider. Probably my two favorites are the Flying Brick cider, John. And there's one from Orange in New South Wales, which is not that far from Dubbo, and it's quite close to where I went to uni with AIDSy. And this place called Small Acres, they do a few ciders, but they do one that's not even bubbly. It's a still cider, and I did not think I would like it. I do. It's really good. Just normal tomatoes. Taste like tomatoes. They're not tomaco. Okay. Record League is not bad. Incredibly sweet. I think there's a shit ton of sugar in Record League ciders. A new Highlander movie. Damn. Okay, Safa, I know, for real, they don't grow oranges in Orange. It's the wrong climate. They grow apples and grapes. But yes, it was a joke we used to have. They don't have oranges in Orange. Henry Cavill playing McLeod? Wow. I mean, I'd watch it. I'd definitely watch it. Not super fussy. Cheap and Nasty movie. Oh, I've got a couple special things here for Cheap and Nasty, honestly. Again, I've drunk a bunch of Record League in my time. I think there's maybe a bit much sugar in Record League, but hot damn, I have drunk a lot of Record League in my time. Oh god. Also, I'm just going to throw in free advertising for the Flying Brick in Geelong. Besides the fact it's one of my favorite ciders, their venue's really good, like really good food. Mrs. Angry and I sometimes go out that way, for a little holiday. We might go for a weekend or longer. And they do this thing at Flying Brick they call High Cheese. It's their version of high tea, and it's just this incredible collection of cheeses and pastries, and it's the fucking yummiest. Sorry, don't try my operating theory about bridge explosion. And oh god. Yeah, someone did something weird and fucked up with that bridge thing. Chog, you had iced Record League? Oh man, yeah, there was a place near me that was doing Record League slushies. Oh, terrifyingly good. It would be good if a new Highlander had a Queen soundtrack. Yes. Dontron, agree. The Queen soundtrack for Highlander. Oh, sorry. Yes. Bundaberg soft drinks. Very good. Very good. Big fan of the Bundaberg soft drinks. Oh, speaking of Queen soundtracks, Taika Waititi's doing a Flash Gordon movie. Could be good. Definitely the best thing about that Flash Gordon movie was the soundtrack. Oh, and possibly Max von Sydow as Ming the Merciless. He was very good. The movie overall, not great. Oh, going to Feathertop. Yeah, no, this wet weekend, dude. But that can kind of be cool for the high country as well. I think Adam Lambert is performing live with Queen still. Yes. Strixhagen, me too. I think Taika Waititi is hilarious. And he's not sexy and doesn't want to make me turn gay. Okay? I don't know who brought that up. I don't know who brought that up. Not real. Oh God, Chog. Oh, get white girl wasted on vodka cruises. God damn. Oh dear. Yeah. Okay. You're on a. Look. I didn't hate it. I definitely think the best thing was the soundtrack. Second best thing was Max von Sydow. Oh look, I'm still really pleased. I actually got to see Queen live with Freddie, and this was 30 years ago. I'm so old. 35 years ago? It was probably 35 years ago when they played the Entertainment Centre in Sydney. My sister, who was a mad Queen fan, had 2 tickets, and then for some reason her fucking boyfriend refused to go. It was too gay or something. And she basically said, this ticket's not going to waste. I was in Bathurst, and she said, you're coming to Sydney and going to the show. And I went, okay. Fucking incredible show. Also, the Australian act who were the support, Flotsam Jetsam, I love them. 80s gay disco stuff. Fucking great. I have a whole bunch of 12-inch singles of Flotsam Jetsam stuff. Okay, excellent question. We're talking about Freddie now. Well, he's bi, but it was always innuendo with Freddie. Kirsten, you're on the tablet. You're mobile? Are you mobile now, Kirsten? That's the thing. So you saw Queen with Adam Lambert. Brian May was good. And then Alice Cooper. Yeah, again, well, Freddie was very much in love with a woman early in his life. He may have only had sex with dudes for quite a long time. Okay, single funniest quote I can ever remember was a doco on Queen and whatnot, and interviewing a whole bunch of things. And there was a guy who was a roadie, and he, like, again, this guy, when he's being interviewed, he's in his 60s or maybe even his 70s. Like, he was like a roadie for all these big acts in the 70s, and he's just like, I gotta tell you, this is just like, you know, I was a roadie for like Led Zeppelin, and he named all these big bands that had really decadent after parties. And he goes, and then I was a roadie for Queen for a couple of years, and I swear to God, I'm going to hell just for things I saw, not for anything I did, just for things I saw. I just thought that was so funny. There was a rumor Freddie Mercury had really excessive parties, really excessive. Oh, you were on your phone. Thank you. I feel good that I'm upgraded now. Led Zepp did a bunch of good music. Talked about, yes. Oh my God, Brian May. It's a PhD in astrophysics, I think. Super smart guy. Heard rumors. Oh, again, like I said, possibly one of the single funniest things was this guy going, like, yeah, I've thrown it for all these people, but oh my God, Freddie Mercury and Queen, I'm going to hell just for things I saw. It's just like, how bad were these parties? These really hard-bitten roadies just go like, oh my God, I thought I knew debauchery. But that was debauchery. Did Sacha Baron Cohen want to make a Queen movie? Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 70s. I'm not a fan of everything Led Zepp or everything Pink Floyd, but there's a bunch of stuff I am a fan of. He wanted to play Freddie himself. Interesting. Oh, what's his name who actually played Freddie in that movie was very good. But again, that movie was really weird in that they just did a whole bunch of stuff that wasn't real. And I was like, Why are you putting stuff in here that's not real? Yeah, the Mr. Robot fella. I have to watch all of Mr. Robot at some point. I watched the first 2 seasons and stopped watching, and everyone says the next 2 seasons are really good. There's too much TV. I can't keep up. That's him, Rami Malek. Thank you. I blanked on his name. He's good, actually. Just generally, Rami Malek is good. It's in production. Brian May hated the script because it's about the kinky ship. Okay. And apparently Queen were completely on board with that recent movie. And yet there's a bunch of stuff in it that just wasn't real. Chog. Bands have peaks and troughs. I mean, Led Zepp did good stuff. I've only seen the first ep of Gen V. For those who don't know, that's a spin-off of The Boys, which is an awesomely fucked up TV show and comic. Gen V is young people with mutations and learning how to use them. I've only watched the first episode. Is it good, Dr. Abigail? Oh yeah, unconventional good looks. That's a good way to do it. Oh, I've got a ding. What's this? Oh, good Lord. Oh, nice. Richard had a good omelette. Excellent. The fakes, I don't know. It was really weird when you read the stuff in that Queen movie that was completely fake, and it's like, why did you do that? All right. Okay, cool. Because I did, because I have a Prime Video subscription. Every now and then they send me a thing. You get to watch previews before this stuff, and I got a preview of the first episode. Sorry, just answering texts. Yeah, I got a preview of episode 1 of Gen V. It looks cool. Yeah, brilliantly fucked up. Nice. Oh, okay. Jeez, Kirsten, you freaking me out. I'm going to get ghost dings? Is that a thing? Oh my God. So Strictly Sega, you like Led Zepp? Yeah, I've not gotten deeply into Led Zepp, but I broadly like them. I'm with you, Dontron. I only know a handful of Led Zepp songs. Oh, you like the Kinks. Again, I'm not deep into the Kinks, but they definitely had some good stuff. Okay, here's a bit of trivia. When I were a lad at high school, my favorite band is Australian band, The Angels. And they actually toured the US as the support for the Kinks. And they were an amazing live show. I think I saw The Angels 3 times. For no reason. Amazing live show. And they were blowing the Kinks off the stage. And apparently Ray Davies, lead singer of the Kinks, was getting really upset. And they kept limiting what the Angels could do. They wouldn't let them use any lights. They only would let them use like flat white lights. And they were just basically really upset the Angels live show was blowing them off the stage, which is pretty funny, honestly. Oh, you heard the Kinks on The Sopranos. Neat. I kind of need to go back and watch The Sopranos. I never watched the entire series. I did watch the first couple of seasons. I kind of need to go back and watch it. I kind of told Mrs. Angry we should watch it because she's a psychologist counselor. I go, the central thing is this mafia dude going into therapy. I think you might like it. And she's like, nah, might be too much like work. I don't know. And also, Mrs. Angry continually gets upset at bad representations of therapy. Oh my God. Okay, Strictly Sega. Darkroom was the first Angels album I got into. That was the No Secrets one. No Secrets is one of their best songs. Darkroom's kind of not their best album, though. A lot of the tracks are not that great. I've got a whole bunch of Angels albums. I probably don't even have a favorite Angels album, actually, which is weird. Ooh, honestly, Breaking Bad. I very much am a fan of Breaking Bad. So sure, we're back on Led Zepp, Houses of the Holy, Robert Sent. Oof. There you go. See, I don't know them that well. Okay. So Chog's Darkroom as well. No Exit, good album. I actually, and this is a possibly unpopular opinion, I like some of the albums that came later, like Watch the Red and Night Attack. Shit, I love Night Attack. I don't think I have one that stands out and makes me go, this is my favorite Angels album. Darkroom was the first one I really got into. No Exit was probably the second one I really got into. But holy shit, they were good live. They even came to Dubbo once, and they were really good. I got to interview Doc Neeson when I was at uni for the radio station. That was a fucking dream come true. You never would have guessed Night Attack. I don't know. I really like the Night Attack album. But Watch the Red. Watch the Red might be close to my favorite, actually. But yeah, I've never really had one that was like, yeah, this is the best Angels album. It's just I got into them at different times. No Secrets is definitely one of their best singles. So good. Yes, they did the East Timor concert. Doc Neeson was very into the causes. Yes. So Dontron, when you were a kid, first musical, Ozzy Osbourne, holy shit! But how groundbreaking was Sabbath in the day? And yeah, the whole reality TV thing is a bit much, but the early days of Sabbath was absolutely groundbreaking. Yeah, no, they were just the Angels in their, and I think the Angels' peak went from the late 70s all the way through the 80s. They were just fucking phenomenal live. We are being old fucks at the moment. The Angels, the time of the Angels was late 70s and all through the 80s. Fucking great. And they, for a sort of straight ahead rock band, they were very theatrical. And because Doc Neeson actually did do drama at uni. And their stage show was really theatrical. Yeah, we're doing boomer shit. Well, the Angels, they're all older than me. They're all boomers. But yeah. Oh yeah, am I ever gonna see your face again? No way, get fuck. And again, I've told that story so many times on the stream, but it is very funny. It was the first big hit the Angels had, a song called Am I Ever Gonna See Your Face Again? And then in the late 70s, early 80s, blue light discos run by cops happened. And they're very suburban. And there became this chant in the discos when Am I Ever Gonna See Your Face Again was played. The kids in the crowd would do this response where the thing, am I ever gonna see your face again? No way, get fuck off. And I have no idea how that, and it spread everywhere to do that when Am I Ever Gonna See Your Face Again was played. You go, no way, get fuck off. And I remember seeing this interview with the Angels and they were talking about it and they said they had no idea because they had stopped playing it live like in the late 70s. And through the 80s, it was really popular at the blue light discos. And for whatever reason, they were at a blue light disco. They were invited to be there or something. And the song plays. And the coppers are saying, oh, this is really popular. And it plays. And all these kids go, no way, get fuck off. And the Angels were like, what the fuck is that? And the coppers are going, I don't know. It's just a thing that happens. And so they put it back into their live set. And they said, I wonder if this will work. And they started playing it live, and am I ever going to say? And the audience goes, "No way, get fuck off!" And the Angels apparently just found it hilarious. Dr. Abigail's old fuck moment. 12 to 13-year-olds listening to Green Day and Nirvana. Yes, but Nirvana and Green Day get played in supermarkets now. Fucking wild. There, and that's the thing when you realize 90s music is oldies music. Yeah, Strictly Sega, blue light discos were the fucking tits. I went to blue light discos as a kid. Yes, yeah, we're all doing the Matt Damon Private Ryan aging meme, definitely. It's fucking wild. And oh my god, my favorite was when Zoomers first started shitting on millennials, calling them old, because it happens to every generation. And I remember reading this article online. A millennial was playing music for a Zoomer, and it was like 90s music. So stuff released before this kid was born. And this is what I listened to. And the kid's listening to it and it's going like, and because this was actually like, I don't know, 5 years ago, when everything had the drop in it, and the kid's listening to it going, oh, when's the drop coming? And of course, 90s music didn't have a drop in it. And they listened to it for a while and went, oh, yeah, okay, this is old people music. And at this point, the millennial was like 27. And this kid who's 14 going, oh, yeah, this is old people music. And the millennial was going, okay, listen here, you little shit. It was fucking gold. It's always funny when a generation has to come to terms with young people think they're really unfathomably old. Oh, you have a modern favorites playlist with Green Day. Nice. Ooh, Pokemon Gold and Silver, 25 years old. Yes. That's for the Game Boy, I'm assuming. I wonder if my Game Boy still works. It's in a box somewhere. Man, I played a Game Boy so much. Didn't play Pokemon, though, actually. Oh, yes. That's another good meme. The dude who drank from the false grail at the end of the Last Crusade. That one hasn't caught on so much as a meme as the Matt Damon aging one. Oh, God. Okay. God damn it. As much as I'm tempted to drink more booze, I'm going to drink some soda water. Gonna pace myself because it's only 9:30. Jesus, I'm already half Jim Smithed at 9:30. Yeah, I had an original Game Boy. I never had a Game Boy Color. Oh, I even bought this accoutrement because the screen on the fucking Game Boy was so small, so hard to see. I got this thing that you clipped onto it. It was this funny thing with hinges. And it was like a magnifying lens and lights, because that was the other thing. It could be quite hard to see the LED screen in low light on the Game Boy. So it was this thing you clipped on that had a magnifying lens and lights on it. That was the tits. Oh, yes. Pour yourself a stream. Pour yourself a stream and come on to the drink. Or pour yourself a drink and then come on the stream. That's the whole thing. Dontron. Game Boy accessories were wild. I used to burn leaves with lenses. Neat. Richard, you had that for your Game Boy as well? I have it somewhere too. I have no idea if my Game Boy still works. See, Safa, you're fancy. You had a Game Boy Advance. I had an OG Game Boy. The only two things I played the shit out of were Tetris and Castlevania. I had other games, but the two I played the shit out of were Tetris and Castlevania. Oh, yes! You could actually get external speakers. Oh shit. Yeah, no, my original one was the really fucking chunky Game Boy. And I love the story that came out at the point because you got things like with the Game Boy Color, the later versions that were much slimmer than the original. And the Game Boy was such an incredibly compact thing. And yes, Safa, Tetris came with the system. You bought a Game Boy, you got Tetris. And there was a story that went around that like the head of Nintendo went to the Game Boy team and said, we need to have a version that's smaller than this. And the Game Boy was smaller than any other gaming thing in the world. And they said, it can't be smaller, it's the smallest. And then he apparently dropped the Game Boy in a bucket of water and let it sit there, like all the bubbles come out. And then he pulled it out and then all this water drained out of it. And he says, that water's all empty space. Make it smaller. And bugger me, they made it much slimmer and smaller. Rottweiler dude, hello. The Steam sale is going to make you fail buy nothing day. Mrs. Angry actually bought a couple of physical games. The re-release of Red Dead Redemption, which I am actually quite keen to play. What else did she get? She got God of War Ragnarok, because she really likes the God of War games. And she got something else as well. So, Chog, you've got a 34-year-old Game Boy that works. Nice. And yeah, Richard, your chunky Game Boy might be worth dollars. Yeah, I have no idea if my original Game Boy still works. It's in a fucking box somewhere. I'm taking some time off over Christmas. I might go through some boxes and unpack some stuff and throw some shit out I should have thrown out a long time ago. I might find it again. Who knows? Ugh. Yes, I think you're right, Dontron. In the original black and white Game Boy, Tetris was packed with it, and in the later ones, it was a Mario game. So, yeah, I mean, God, all this is making me also want to see if my Nintendo 64 still works. I think it does. I remember, oh God, it was last time it got fired up was a few years ago, but it worked. Queen Kirsten, hello. You got up at 4 a.m. Wow. Okay. Get some sleep and enjoy your weekends. That was a stupid early start to work, which I'm sure was for a good reason. Take care of yourself and get some sleep. Nice, Chog. You've got working OG Game Boys. Oh yeah, I think I don't think my TV. I'd have to look. I don't think my TV has component inputs. I'd have to buy an adapter to try and put the Nintendo 64 on it. I haven't looked for a little while. Maybe it's got component inputs. It's like it's not a super new TV, so it might have component inputs. Oh, neat, Safi. You got a. I never had a GameCube. You got a working GameCube. Nice. So the Chog family been out all day. Yes, get some sleep, man. This I'm enjoying this stream. But yes, please, you've got a big day. Enjoy it. If you feel so disposed, post some more of those beautiful pictures on the Discord. I love them. Yeah, no, you can get the adapters. You can definitely get the adapters for it. Oh, nice. Dr. Abigail, you got a drink. Dontron, I think you are not alone in not liking the GameCube controller. All right, so where are we? Okay. I just have to do this slow and steady, remembering how to get the link to join the stream. There it is. Oh, goodness me. Halfway through the ramen. Nice. I said, Safi, you like the GameCube controller? Well, I've never played the GameCube. I do remember people complaining about it, though. So... I kind of like the Nintendo 64 controller. It was weird, like it's a two-handed thing. You actually had to hold it with two hands, but hello, Dr. Abigail.
Hello.
Oh, also, I love your side thing. You're a Taylor's version.
That's been there for ages.
I've lost all my higher brain functions, so I'm not necessarily going to remember anything. So
I had a big piece of food stuck in my teeth. It is no longer there.
I know that feeling. Cheers.
What a webcam for, hey?
I have a variety of interdental brushes and picks and whatnot to get things out from between my teeth. Different sizes and different thicknesses for the different gaps between my teeth.
I've got some needles, some like craft needles. This is a mattress, like an embroidery needle. This is I forget what kind of needle that is, but this one's pointy. I can use that in a pinch, but I wouldn't want to.
What, as a toothpick?
Well, I do have some toothpicks, but they're all the way like over there.
Rich is going for the Black Friday shops. Don't get killed, dude. It's weird, like those American Black Friday sales make
God,
global news. It's just unhinged. It's violent mob mentality. It's wild. It's a whole thing. So good luck. I only did online shopping. It's kind of like
I made another dragon egg.
Oh, it's like a black and silver one.
Yes. So that's it. Well, it's more blue. It's got a bluish tint that doesn't come out in this light.
Yeah.
So, and this is what they look like when they're full of dice.
Oh, and they make a good noise. Nice.
Yeah. So this is literally chock full of dice. These are just the dice I only use one set of dice, really.
Yeah.
But
you got a whole collection.
I've got at least twice this number of dice more over there that I don't use, because everyone who plays D&D becomes a dice goblin.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
I've been playing D&D since I was a teenager.
Yeah.
That was 30 years ago.
So yeah. Also, Dontron, I agree. I will do online shopping rather than in-person shopping, definitely. And yes, those are Dragon Eggs dice bags. Dr. Abigail's been doing.
And yes,
also, what I knew would happen. Pat, hey, how you doing, buddy?
And
Our very own Volgo 13 establishing an alibi. Ooh, those are black as midnight. What's that?
Well,
That's
it's
cool.
actually green.
It's green,
It's
is
actually
it?
green.
Oh, they're black.
So
they're
this is a
black.
mini version. It's
A mini one.
a mini version. Yeah.
Oh,
That's cool.
So
So, yeah.
I love the question. Can you put marbles in it? No, it's illegal. You cannot.
They'll explode.
It's illegal. Rottweiler dude,
Oh,
if you've been
why?
playing Baldur's Gate 3, been sort of talking that up to Mrs. Angry
Depends
that she'd
if
enjoy
you're-
Baldur's Gate.
Okay, so Baldur's Gate is based on D&D 5th edition, and because 5th edition is not optimized at all,
Yeah.
you can make some very, very broken character combinations just in one character
Yeah.
using multi-classes and stuff. It's insane. My favorite is the nuclear wizard, who even at first level, it's a cross between you multi-class it into between sorcerer. Oh, is it? It's sorcerer and warlock,
Right.
and you just casting magic missile but you're pumping so much energy into it. Yeah, you got to go look for a breakdown of it. It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Mrs. Angry would like it because she likes it sort of adventure games, but also that you can do really queer romances in it as well. Like when she played, what's I'm trying to think another sort of fantasy character one, and my brain has literally stopped working. It's one where you wake up in a wagon and someone says, "Oh, you're awake," and they're a dragon.
Oh, that's Skyrim.
Yeah, Skyrim. She really enjoyed Skyrim, like because you can have romances and marry someone. And she was cute. She was going, I was trying to get a character that looked like you, and no one looked like you. So she just married a lizard person. And
she came close.
yeah, she just went like, well, if they're not going to let me customize a human who looks like you, I'm going to marry a lizard person. And I was like, okay, cool. That's fine.
Oh, yeah, I saw this today.
Oh, you went and saw the Marvels. Did you like it?
Yep, that's wicked.
Yeah.
It's the best.
That looks like fun. That's just like a fun movie from.
Yeah, I wanna watch
Oh, yeah,
that.
I saw that. I saw the cat eat the
Yeah.
man.
Oh, the cat. Yeah, no, the cat's trippy.
It's not a cat. It's a flurkin.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
I know
an
that, it's
alien
cat.
that looks like a cat.
Eat the man.
It's
And-
very funny. The cat is very funny. That was in the.
Not a cat. It's a flurkin.
I
That was
know
in the-
the cat. I know.
That was in the
I
Captain
know
Marvel
that.
movie. All right, Dontron, you're passing it. Thank you so much for hanging out with us for a while. I know it's ridiculously early in the morning for you. And
Ugh.
you should get some sleep. So do take care, my friend. Yeah, it's fine. Also, I did enjoy the Ms. Marvel series on Disney Plus. That was really entertaining.
I enjoyed the fuck out of it on so many levels.
Yeah.
It was entertaining to watch. It was good to see minority representation. And
Yeah.
it's just always good to see racist dickheads lose their shit.
Oh yeah,
That's
no,
just-
that was always fun.
Yeah, that,
A Muslim woman character. Oh my god, what's wrong? That just makes it more enjoyable. Yeah.
yeah,
That's
that's just like racist tears for
Yeah.
my soul. It's just like add them
Yeah.
to my cocktail.
Yeah. And that did add to the enjoyment. It was just a very enjoyable show on its own, and it was very nice to have that Muslim family dynamic in there.
Yeah,
And yes, the fuckwits getting upset about it just made it more enjoyable to watch.
oh yeah, that was
It's kind of
icing
like
on the cake.
the Captain Marvel movie. Watching these dude bros getting very upset because the woman character was a bit abrasive, and it was just like,
Yeah, like as opposed to no male character ever.
it's like I love how lacking in self-awareness they are.
Yeah,
It's so funny.
yeah. Hang on, this movie doesn't feature a male protagonist.
Yeah.
It's not about me. What about me?
I did
don't know,
love.
they're weird.
I did love the meme someone did at that. Was this Dudley from Harry Potter when he in the movie he complains about
Yeah,
I know that.
18 presents, like last year I had 19 or something, and someone's just changed it to like 15 white male cishet protagonists. Last year I had 16 cishet
Yes.
white male protagonists. It's just like,
Man, you're weird.
I know it is weird, Pat. It's definitely weird.
Yeah, too.
So, would you like to hear about Brian May's PhD thesis?
I'm hanging out for news of Brian May's PhD thesis.
It was quite a few years ago.
It was, yeah, no, it was a while back, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, by quite a few, I mean, I think it was in the 2010s.
Yeah.
So
It
but,
wasn't
I mean,
this year. It was a little way back.
no, it was pre-pandemic, but it wasn't more than 10 years ago.
Oh, yeah, Mark.
But there was shockingly little research done about it.
Yeah.
So he was studying the cosmic dust that surrounds the solar system,
Yeah.
and it produces a bit of a halo effect around the solar system,
Okay.
and astronomers have to take that into account.
Okay.
And he did a study on it and found he'd mapped it. He mapped it all out.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So he
Cosmic dust.
yeah, cosmic, eh?
Yeah.
And
very
yeah, so like it's just like I haven't read the research obviously, and my take on it is very like I'm just trying to remember back from many years ago when I watched a YouTube video about it.
Yeah.
But I'm not talking about the Oort cloud. I'm not talking about the Kuiper belt or anything. It's just like dust that hangs around, and it reflects back light, and it's like this aura effect. So with a proper mapping of it, astronomers and physicists can take much better readings of stellar objects, which is
nice.
pretty cool.
Oh yeah,
That is pretty cool.
I saw my worker today.
Saw who today, Pat?
My worker.
Your work?
Back,
Oh, you saw
back
your
home.
worker today? Yeah.
Yeah, get back.
Okay.
Back home.
Oh, yeah. Did he take you to the Marvels, or was that just a coincidence that you?
Yes,
Oh, he took
yes,
you to the Marvels?
Yeah, go see the boys.
Nice. That's nice.
By
thing.
worker, we assume you mean your benefactor.
Yeah, it's like the person who
Don't
gives
that.
him assignments. I mean,
Yes.
we were
Hey,
talking
shut
about
up,
that.
man.
We were talking
by-
about that Netflix earlier. I thought there was something in the credits go totally not inspired by the story of the smiling assassin, aka Pat in Australia.
Shut up, man.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
there was a
girl.
disclaimer. That wasn't about you, Pat. That wasn't inspired by you. So anyone
Totally
watching
not.
that
That's
Netflix
good.
film, The Killer, nothing to do with Pat. Okay, it's
Yep.
I said, too.
And the movie totally wasn't an alibi at all.
no, it wasn't. It's not saying this international assassin was actually an American, so therefore Pat's totally innocent. That wasn't set up solely as an alibi.
Mm.
You shush.
That's a whole thing, is all I'm saying. So, yeah. No. it's all good in the hood. Trying to think what else to watch. I watched the first episode of that Scott Pilgrim anime where they've got the original cast from the live action Scott Pilgrim movie to do the voices for an anime version.
Are they following the comic books closer?
They're following the comic books, yeah.
Okay.
Which is intriguing because the movie was kind of consistent with the first few issues of the comic book. But yeah, I think this one, I don't know that it's going to follow the comic book religiously, but it's following quite closely. But to me, it's friggin' hilarious that they got the whole cast together. And it's like, I can't play those characters. I'm 10 years older. Yeah, it's anime. You can play them. And they're all like, cool, I can do that. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
And yeah, it's actually produced by a Japanese anime house. Like, it's really
cool.
interesting. You watch the credits and everyone's Japanese. And then it's like, the executive producer is the creator of the comic and someone who did the movie. So the cast is all North American. So every name in production is Japanese up to the producers who are North American. And but Yeah, it was so
Yep.
funny watching the first episode, because the whole thing with knives and whatever. I go, God damn it, Scott's a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
It's just like he sucks, and that's what I love. There's this protagonist who he kind of sucks. He does shitty
Is the
things.
comic aware of that, or is it stuck in the 90s?
I kind of feel like the comic knows this guy who has a sort of girlfriend who's in high school, and he won't just come out and say to her, yeah, no, we can't date because I've literally met the girl of my dreams and whatnot. And it's just like, wow, he's a fucking jerk. And he's kind of like cute, like, you know, when the first of the evil X's appears and like we have to fight, and Scott goes, what's this about? He goes, I sent you a letter, didn't you read it? And Scott's going, I skimmed it. Could you like fill me in? And the guy went, it was a really detailed letter. I put a lot of effort. It's just like, Scott's just a jerk. It's just like, he's just like this slacker jerk. And he's just like, what?
Oh dear. Okay.
That
Okay.
boy
I'm gonna
ain't
have to-
with it.
And he's with his, and it's this nice, lovely thing. Like he's sharing, like he's not just sharing a 1-bedroom apartment with his cool gay flatmate. They actually sleep in the same double bed, and it's not a thing. And that was in the movie, and that's in the comic and the anime. It's just like it's not a thing, and because Scott just thinks he's like best friend is so much cooler than him, and the fact that he sleeps in the same bed as him is just not a thing, which is quite cute. And hello, Hannah, by the way. Watching Korean series about a woman makes a deal with Doom to end the world as a dying wish. Well, you know, take everyone with you, I say.
Yeah.
Holy shit, there are some messed up Korean TV shows on Netflix, by the way. It's just-
I started watching this TV show called Invasion.
yeah,
It's a sci-fi drama
yeah.
where this alien invasion is taking place, but no one really is aware of it until like episode 4 or 5.
Okay.
And like the aliens are like at first they're invisible, and then they're like these weird like amorphous things, and the show like annoyingly focuses on drama and humans, which I
Humans.
fucking can't stand. But one of the plots has drawn me in because it centers around this Japanese woman whose secret girlfriend is an astronaut who supposedly died, but
Okay.
she finds out that she might be still alive,
Ooh.
but she's in space, and their
Ah.
ship blew up or something. So yeah, and the other plot is this Iranian woman living in the US, and her 2 kids finds out that her husband is a cheating piece of shit, and then the world starts to go to shit because alien invasion.
Yeah.
And while that's happening, he was about to leave her,
Yeah.
but he tells her that during the evacuation, and like tries to get away again, like in an attempt to get away, like he tries to like convince one of their neighbors, just take me, like right in front of her and shit like that. He's such a piece of shit. And then oh god, he's such a piece of shit. But she's like a surgeon and gave that up.
Okay.
And anyway,
All right.
it's called Invasion.
Yeah. So
a slow burn.
Hannah's one. This woman spends a series trying to fall in love with bad people, so she doesn't have to destroy the world, and it becomes an interesting view on good versus evil, God versus the devil, and free will. It's called Doom at Your Service. You feel sorry for Doom, and then you go, wait a sec, that dude's evil. Again, the Koreans love making really friggin' dark TV shows, whether it's Squid Game. There's a few zombie ones on Netflix. I watched one called All of Us Are
Yeah, I
Dead.
saw that.
All of Us Are Dead is a great name for a show, and it mostly centers on a high school, but it's basically a huge zombie outbreak in Korea. And but it mostly centers on a high school and will these kids survive or not. And I just love it as a name for a zombie show. All of Us Are Dead. And it gets fucking dark because anything that kills kids gets pretty friggin' dark. There's another one,
Yeah.
don't remember the name. And there was one that it was, again, these demon things that start appearing and they start punishing people. They come out of nowhere and they kill people who've done something bad. And they do it in public and it's very visible. Someone gets just eviscerated by these demons because they've done something bad. And I only watched the first couple episodes, but apparently it goes, there's a whole cult around it. And, you know, we need to embrace goodness and whatnot because otherwise the demons will kill you. And I feel like it was going to go somewhere interesting, but I got distracted and stopped watching it. But again, there are super weird Korean shows. And by weird, I mean good. I almost always mean good when I say weird.
Yeah, that's how I interpret it.
Yeah. But yeah, apparently we get season 2 of Squid Game sometime in 2024, which will be interesting. It probably gave birth to my favorite meme, which is just a picture of the guy who was the protagonist when he posed for his ID photo, and he's doing this really cheesy smile, and the caption under it is, "I'm glad I don't live in the world of Squid Game, and instead I just lived in the capitalist hellscape that's the inspiration for Squid Game."
Squid Game is kind of just real life light.
It is like you look at it, there's a couple of good things. Like there was a movie that came out, God, a while back. It might be as far back as 10 years. It's just called Moon. And you watch it and you go, oh yeah, no, the capitalists would fucking do this if they could get away with it. It's the ultimate in worker exploitation. Don't want to give it away because even though it's a 10-year-old movie, it's great. You should go watch it. It's got Sam, what's his name in it? And Sam Rockwell, yeah, and Sam Rockwell, and it is definitely the ultimate in worker exploitation, and capitalists would absolutely fucking do it if they could get away with it.
Okay, so if you want to see what capitalists would do, you just have to look at what working conditions were like at the like turn of the 19th century, at the like peak of the Industrial Revolution.
Oh yeah,
child labor, sweltering conditions, people sleeping on ropes in like boarding houses and like working 16-hour days. That's what they'll get away with.
Hannah's also watched one about a zombie apocalypse. They go into lockdown because they learned from COVID that lockdown works. Oh yeah. No, the one that's in an apartment building. Yes. Called Happiness, which again, beautiful irony. Itaewon Class is amazing. A felon starting pub as a revenge to his high school bully. Oh yeah, again, it's incredible. Also, Netflix also loves Indian shows. There are some really interesting Indian shows and movies on Netflix. Because the most outrageous is that one that everyone was watching a couple of years ago, RRR, which is like 3 hours long or something. I forget what the 3 R's stand for.
One, isn't it? Yeah.
But it's this whole thing of a fight against British colonialism, and it's fucking hilarious because the British are basically the devil in this movie. They're like so bad. You watch it and go like,
An accurate
yeah,
portrayal of the British.
yeah. It's just like,
Hmm.
yep. Some people are going, yeah, the British colonizers were very bad, but they're cartoonishly evil in an absolutely delightful way in this movie. And the action sequences are so ludicrously over the top. It's so enjoyable. Like I said, it's about 3 hours long. It's just this amazing epic with just absolutely mind-bending stunts and effects and whatnot. Oop, I think Miss Angry's going to bed. I need to get my breathing apparatus. So if you don't want to be put on the spot, oh, you know what I haven't done for ages? I haven't put zombie AZ. I haven't done that for ages. Okay, come on, browser. What are we doing? Okay, I'm gonna. All right, I'll turn off the elevator music, and we'll share a screen. I'll be gone for I don't know 2 minutes or something, but we'll let AZ run things in the meantime. Wait, I might not have done the share the audio thing. I'll just make sure I do it. Oh yeah, no, it's they've changed how that works. Okay, good. Okay, so we'll do that. Where are we? I'll do that. And there's AIDS here, and I'll just let this run while I do a couple of things. His jaw's swollen. I got here just before his jaw fell off. There you go. So I got here just before Aids's jaw fell off, but that's all good. We save that for later. I feel like I haven't used that in ages. It was fun to use it again. Frank just did such a good job. Again, Frankie the Skin hasn't been on the stream for a little while. Things haven't crossed over. But he literally was playing with animation. I said, can you do anything? And it's like a zombie AZ. And he's like running a newscast. And there's a thing of just horrible end of the world stuff. And he gradually starts to rot away and falls off. And Frank goes, yep, I can do that. And he did it. It was just great. It was exactly what I asked for. Perfect.
Should do a second one that's
I made that, man.
slightly different and just like see if people notice.
Well, I wanted to do one that was a bit different. There's a classic old BBC test card, and the ABC had a similar one. And the BBC one was particular with all the colours and the grids and stuff that were used to tune TVs. But then the circle in the middle was a very, cute child playing a game. I just think it should be AIDSy in the middle, and everything just gradually decays and loses resolution of the thing, which is the whole thing. So Hannah, tell us about
Hello,
things.
micro USB.
Yeah, hi, Micro, by the way. Okay, Hannah's still trying to sing. Guy tries to knock this guy off a roof. Yes, Micro, we are still live. It's a time of year. Don't wake up 2 hours after the stream ends. Yeah, I think because of daylight saving and the change in hours, it's a little bit
Daylight
closer
robbery.
to you. Where is everyone? I don't know, man. People have been in and out. There were a lot of people here earlier, and then there was kind of almost no one, and now there's more people. But
He probably posted that while the
right, when the AIDSy thing was happening. Yeah, actually, sure. Okay, yes. Hi, finally. Okay, yeah, no. You literally caught. There was two things happening. Mrs. Angry is going to bed, so I had to go and get my breathing apparatus. And I also took the opportunity to have a toilet break because I really needed to pee. So, yeah. And now I've been good and drunk a bunch of soda water, so I'm probably just going to drink alcohol again now. What is it? 10? It's after 10. That's all right. No idea how long I'll last. Ooh. You remember that place we went to, Dr. Abigail, the Craft & Co. distillery, which is near the... They are doing a thing, I think, next weekend that they're calling the... what do they call it? I'll look it up. It's a gin something, but I'm going to look it up because it sounds fun. I'm going to go to their website.
I saw this one.
Okay, yeah, okay. The Christmas Gin Market. Okay. So this is the thing. So it's all, they're actually got a bunch of distillers coming in. So you basically get at a table, you sit down, and the distillers move table to table saying, hey, this is my product. And they say, it's like speed dating, but with gin.
I approve.
It's just cool. You sit at a table and a different distiller comes to you and says, hey, here's my products.
I'm glad they're the ones moving.
Yeah,
not-
and I think that's the whole thing. They're the ones moving. You just stay there taking samples of stuff. Sounds good. So yeah, Micro, Hannah's in Brisbane. Oh yes, and because daylight saving happened, and so yeah, Hannah's on a very similar meridian to us, but they don't do daylight saving, so we're an hour different now. Hey, Fallen Dreams on Twitch. Doing good. How you doing? I feel like you've been on the stream before, but maybe not for a little while. Although I could be wrong. You may have just stumbled across me on Twitch. So I always do the little explainer. I'm using something called StreamYard that lets me restream to YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook at the same time. Most people watch me on YouTube. Some people watch me on Twitch. Occasionally someone watches me on Facebook. It's a whole thing. So Micro. Oh, daylight saving. It is. It's definitely arbitrary. I have to admit I like it. If I had to choose between one or the other, I would choose the summer hours. So you get more daylight at the end of the day. I wouldn't give a shit if it was dark till 9 o'clock in the morning in winter. I just wouldn't.
Oh,
But-
really? You saw this?
That's a man with a dog. Wait, is that the TV vet guy?
Yeah, Dr. Fizz Brown.
Chris Brown, yeah.
Yeah.
Not to be mistaken for the creepy, predatory Chris Brown American R&B guy. That's a good Chris Brown.
Random white guy with a dog.
No, that's white Chris Brown is the good Chris Brown. African American Chris Brown, bad
That's
Chris Brown.
There's the doctor.
Oh, see, Micro, our time zone in daylight saving gets wacky. Australia's got about 7 time zones in daylight saving because A, because of the size of the continent, and B, because of people disagreeing about daylight saving. Gets weird. And yes, when you cross one of the time zones, yes, the concept of time is absolutely arbitrary. And in yon olden days, when people traveled by horse, they didn't really give a shit because you just went, it's morning, it's midday. It's like, because it took you so long to get anywhere, you didn't have to worry about it. But cars move so quickly, and of course, and planes move so much more quickly. Everyone, you obsess about international time.
Also, on a quantum level, is time even real?
Exactly. Is the human experience of experiencing time as a linear progression, is that real? There is a very strong argument that it's not. It's just that our perception is limited.
If it wasn't for entropy, time would be immaterial and everything would be time insensitive, like forward and backward in time.
So
It's called chirality, time chirality, or something like that.
okay. Hannah normally does a long shift. The sales. Oh, okay. So 11 hours, you get 2 1-hour breaks. So you're there for an extra hour, but you actually take an extra hour break. I mean, someone in management thought that was a good idea, Hannah. That's what it comes down to. So, Micro, it bothers you that Chris Brown. Oh, yeah, I know. But, dude, serial killers in prison get women writing them letters proposing marriage and stuff. People are really strange. People are exceptionally strange. Like, I still have this old video that gets comments occasionally. It's AD and me talking about, it's not allegations, it is bad things David Bowie did in his youth. And somehow we brought Michael Jackson into it as well. And I still get Michael Jackson apologists commenting on it. And I was like, dude, you're fucking defending a pedo. That tells me everything I need to know. Fuck off. It's like they go with these really elaborate defenses of Michael Jackson. I'm going, no, fuck off. It's just, no. Ooh, break. Oh, yeah, no, that makes sense. Breaks are unpaid. And yes, yeah, so you're just there for an extra. No, some genius in management thought that was a good idea.
Who says breaks are unpaid?
Well, it kind of works that way for me, in as much as my workday is 7.6 hours, and I can have as long a lunch break as I want. It can be half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour, 2 hours. I'm just meant to be at my desk 7.6 hours. So it depends how you do it.
I guess.
Micro, I'm just not going into the Michael Jackson thing. It's he's dead, and it's a whole thing.
Yeah, I know Mother Teresa's birthday.
Okay.
You know, my
So,
birthday.
yeah, depends
So
who
you
you
have
are.
the same birthday as Michael Jackson.
Yep.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, I can beat you, Pat. My birthday is one day after Hitler's birthday. So
So just
Oh,
because
yeah,
Michael Jackson didn't diddle Macaulay Culkin,
yeah.
doesn't mean he's not a pedo.
Over a period of decades, he had multiple young children stay in his house overnight. And honestly, I adhere to the thing, even if nothing abusive sexually happened, it's fucked up and weird and wrong.
Yeah.
An adult an adult
course.
person should not be having non-family children. Okay. DiCaprio's not a pedo. He is a predator. I think there's a case to be made that DiCaprio exploits power imbalances because he is like one of the most powerful people in Hollywood, and he dates 21-year-old women. And again, 21-year-old women can make their own choices. He's not committing a crime and whatnot, but it is a creepy, predatory power imbalance thing that is
also
fucked up.
let's not play the Olympics of creepy.
Yes, who's the worst predator? It's just like they kind of all are.
Who's the worst awful person? Because then we're just like invoke Godwin's law here.
No. Micro, just for instance, if an adult female celebrity paid parents to have children who she wasn't related to stay over, that would be creepy and wrong. Like I said, literally, even if nothing sexually abusive happened, it's just creepy and wrong.
So case in point,
Sia,
the performer, and the child actor, what's her name, who was in a couple of movies and was in a couple of Sia's video clips, and in that awful autistic movie.
Oh, right.
Sia like invited her to her bed and had cozy time with her as well. And did the whole Michael Jackson thing with her, equally as creepy. Like that shit is fucked up.
It's not acceptable.
It doesn't matter.
Sorry, I was just going to say, Michael, I do agree with you because I always smile at kids, babies, toddlers, and I pull faces at them.
That's not creepy.
And some people, a minority of people, will make a whole thing out of that. But normally it's like I almost kind of feel like parents can get the vibe where you were a parent and you just go like, mine are grown up, but they used to be that little like, bleh. What do you? And because toddlers just are and small kids are incredibly funny when they look at you and make eye contact and you react to them. How kids react when you see them and focus on, because they're like, that one's looking at me, and they'll either laugh or they'll stick their head in their parent's shoulder, but they'll always do this thing. They put and then they'll look over the parent's shoulder, and they still. And I feel like parents go like, oh, I get that you're another parent. Oh, that's her name, yes, Maddie Ziegler. Yeah. Also, I found out that the musical act that I really liked, Deanne Ford, might be among the most evil people in the world. I don't think they've ever been. I don't think they've even been charged with anything, let alone prosecuted and convicted.
Add that to the list of don't have heroes.
Yeah, it's just like, oh no, I have heard too many stories. It's a kind of compelling. Yeah, Deanne Ford might be among the worst people in the entertainment industry. And once you start talking about the worst people in the entertainment industry, you're talking about very bad people. Very, very bad people. Oh, actually, no, Hannah, I get with that. Older women doing this weird thing about I'm going to fix you up with my daughter, niece, granddaughter thing. That can get very weird. I absolutely know where you're coming from with that. Oh God, are you going to ruin Tenacious D for me, Micro?
Oh, don't ruin Tenacious D. Please don't ruin Tenacious. Oh, I don't know if I can do that. Oh, tell me it's not them. It's just a tribute. Tell me it's not them. It's just. Oh no.
Yeah. Again, Micro, dude, I fucking love you. You have so much compassion, and I really recognize that. And yeah, also, I think you're right. America's a little bit. I was saying Kyle Gass might be an asshole. Yeah, honestly, he might be. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I've not looked into it.
I don't know anything about him.
No, I don't know anything about him.
I don't want to hear anything about.
Yeah.
It's like saying David Grohl. Have you heard about David Grohl? Yeah. And your like ears just block over, and like I don't want to hear anything bad about David Grohl. Or
I remember a video from ages ago. I think it was on cracked.com, but anyway, it's on some online humor satire site, and it was kids doing skipping, and there's the tradition of there being a song as you skip, and they were saying things, and they were basically saying the stories of awful things famous celebrities had done, and they'd start off by going like, this person, da, 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 and it sounds interesting. And there's an adult watching them, and then the kids would go skip, and they'd say the awful allegations about that person. Oh. And the adults going, oh my God. And then it kept going and going, and the adults go, and then it finally got to the kids go, Tom Hanks. And the adult goes, no, I can't hear anything bad about Tom Hanks. And walks away. But then the kids go, Tom Hanks is a decent guy. As far as we know, he's never done anything wrong.
That's how we're
can't mess with us like that. Not Tom Hanks.
It was pretty funny. Like when the kids start on Not Tom David Hanks, Pumpkin. The adult just puts their fingers in their ears and runs away going, no, I can't hear this. But the rhyme was like, Tom Hanks is a decent person. We've never heard anything bad about him. Okay. Micro, here's a thing that I would be cautious of. Yes. Here's the thing. Celebrities aren't allowed to be normal humans. The world puts them in a whole thing. And when you and I, ordinary humans, meet them, they can come across as really conceited and awful. Sometimes they're not awful people. Honestly, I think the majority of celebrities, we can't relate to them. They just don't live lives like we do. And Noog, hello, by the way. So, yeah, the whole thing with celebrities being very self-centered and full of themselves, I think it's probably usually true that they do kind of suck, but also the whole world is very complex and whatnot, and we just can't relate to them. And we don't allow them to have normal lives. So I don't know. And again, your friend might have met them at a bad day. Maybe because when you're a celebrity, you do get complete assholes who harass people. Oh, okay. If we look it up, lots of people saying he's a dickhole. Okay. Yeah. Also, here's another thing I have read about him. He's actually quite insecure, and particularly like the Tenacious D movie essentially failed completely, and that really fucked him up, and he had a lot of difficulty dealing with it. Again, it's kind of like I'm making excuses for someone I don't know and never will know and whatnot. But I have no doubt your friend was honest about their interaction with him, and he was a bit of a dick. But yeah, I just feel kind of compelled to say it's all complicated by the ridiculous life we force celebrities to lead. Like boo-hoo, they have all the privilege and the money and the whatnot, but they can't lead normal lives. And yes, maybe you should just get therapy. Like literally, maybe you should just get therapy for real. But yeah, we live in a weird, fucked up world, and people in the public eye live weird, fucked up lives, and they can't be normal. And Micro, I absolutely don't blame you for not being excited about the presidential elections in the US. The fact that it's probably going to be Trump versus Biden. I want to bring back the. Sorry?
I reckon we'll hear something from the Supreme Court soon, like in a few weeks or like a month, because
Whether
states
Trump
have to
is
start
running.
printing ballots.
Yeah.
And it's going to get to the Supreme Court. There
Yes.
was a judge recently, I forget which state it was, and it wasn't in the state Supreme Court either, that literally ruled as a matter of law, as a matter of fact, that Trump, I think, which state was it? I don't remember.
There's so many
Committed and incited an insurrection, but the 14th Amendment, because the wording was such, it didn't include the president specifically, and so because of this ruling, both lawyers from both sides are appealing it.
Yeah.
The people who want Trump off the ballot are appealing it because they want to include the president in that ruling.
Yeah.
Like, if the president incited an insurrection, he should be taken off the ballot. And Trump's lawyers are appealing it because the judge ruled that he incited an insurrection. So it's going to the appellate court and the state Supreme Court. Again, I'm sorry, I forget which state.
Is it Georgia? Georgia seemed to have the most extreme case against him.
No, I think Georgia was a different case. That was the.
There's so many cases.
I know. Georgia was the voting machine case. The
it was also him trying to force the electors from Georgia to go against the actual election.
the fake electors and
he set up fake electors. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And the New York trial. It's just
that's just a business one that's gonna fuck him up.
I mean, that's a civil trial. He doesn't even have to be there. The only reason
he's just making such a fool of himself in that too.
Well, it's actually working in his favor because he gets television time because the cameras are there.
Yep. Okay.
And his supporters just don't care.
Yeah. Oh no, his supporters don't give a shit about anything.
Yeah. But the fact that his legal team forgot to tick a box for jury trial
just so bizarre.
It's
a bench trial. There's no jury, and they wanted a jury trial, but they were meant to tick something that said jury trial.
Yep.
Wow.
I know.
That's just
it's
incredible.
hilarious. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's so weird.
So, so from what I'm hearing, they expect, because states are going to have to start printing ballots soon. I think
Yeah.
in one state, and I'm hearing this from even states that are conservative, that
Yes.
they think he'll be taken off ballots, but he'll be on some. He'll be on
Yeah.
some state
But he only
ballots.
needs to be off a couple and he can't win.
Yeah. But they can still write him in, unfortunately.
Sorry, poor Ray's had to leave and came back. He might be in danger because he was a witness.
Man.
Yes, Noog, Donnie from Queens. He's been fucking around. He might find out.
Yeah.
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 Well, look, Micro, me and my radical lefty, I think globally, the manufacturing things, they should have to pay properly, no matter where in the world their things are being manufactured. And then we'd stop getting people being exploited and dying in countries around the world. And then people in, North America, Europe, and Australia being out of work because their jobs got outsourced to someone who's being exploited to the point of dying. As the thing, we could have a capitalist system, and I'd be with it if the capitalists had to pay the true cost of the production of everything, and that includes everyone involved in the production of their so-called wealth being properly looked after, and the cleanup costs for whatever they're doing being paid as well by the manufacturer, not by someone down the line. If a manufacturer is causing pollution and environmental degradation, they should have to pay for the restoration and cleanup as well.
I discovered a chocolate company that is doing exactly that.
Nice.
And it's pretty good chocolate too.
Oh, those are really okay. Yeah, they've got a bit of hype. Yeah.
Yeah. So I saw a documentary about them, and they're doing the shit. They're actually going to the actual farmers in Africa and making sure that the farmers are getting paid and that they're not hiring kids and shit like that. They're doing the hard yards.
Nice.
Like,
and that's what
it's for real.
They all should.
Yeah.
And that's what people are like, oh, you just want companies. So, you know what? I would have a capital exchange system you can call capitalism if the capitalists paid the genuine cost of the production of what they're generating wealth from. And that means no one's getting exploited. Everyone anywhere in the world is being paid properly for the work they do. And the capitalist also pays the cleanup costs. Rather than free.
Micro, we as in Australia absolutely have a fucked up abusive relationship.
You have nailed it, because on some days it's good and some days it's bad. And the days when China does something abusive and then we come back and they go, oh, come on, baby, I'm sorry. Look, here's some money for some exports. And you go, okay. And then when someone says that's a bad relationship, and you go, no, he cares about me, really. Sorry, I'm being I'm being weird and fucked up.
That is so fucked up.
I'm being weird and fucked up.
Oh, that's more
Someone
fucked up
stop
than
me. That's
Australia's
unacceptable.
relationship with China.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It could be a good. I've got nothing against. Actually, no. I was about to say I have nothing against China. Well, the totalitarianism and the re-education camps and the homogenization. No, actually, I've got a shit ton against China. I just realized.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. Yes. Yeah, Micro, we need a healthier trade relationship. Get a better partner who really cares for us. Yeah.
Yep.
Again,
shall
I get what you're saying. It's the Chinese Communist Party fucking suck. They are
They're
terrible.
not actually communists.
No, but that's what they call themselves. They're totalitarians. The totalitarians that run China are fucking awful. The millennia of culture and beauty in that incredible landmass we know as China is just great, but fucking hell. Oh, okay. Here's the funny thing about tourists, because okay, so we often whenever, because I work in cybersecurity, and you always get people in Europe, North America, Australia. Their biggest fear on the cybersecurity front is China, and they call it state-based or state-supported actors. Here's the thing: the propaganda in China works so well, and this is true for Russia as well. The propaganda works so well that the cyber attacks don't have to come from an actual government organized cell. It's the propaganda has worked so well, there will actually be independent hackers working to take down the evil West because they believe the propaganda. So the governments in both China and Russia get plausible deniability, and they go, "That wasn't us. That was a rogue actor." But it's just because propaganda works. Oh, Marco, there was a weird thing with the Beijing Olympics where they just stopped vehicles from operating because Beijing has just such horrific pollution normally. But again, because they're a totalitarian state, they could literally just go, no one's allowed to drive their car. So
Oh yeah,
the air would
and they
clear,
also
so it looked better in the Olympics.
They also seeded clouds in a certain way to encourage rainfall patterns to change so that it would always be sunny during the Olympics.
Again, the Beijing Olympics were weird and fucked up. The level of exploitation.
Remember, was it the Rio Olympics where the river that they had to do some of the events in was literally toxic?
Oh yeah. So the rowing people were literally taking their lives into their hands. Yeah.
Like fuck that.
I like that, Hannah. Just being fair, Brisbane has fake grass near the airport, so it looks nice when people arrive.
Well, at least they're not painting the roses red.
Yeah. That was always my joke. The Ghost Rider movie with Nicolas Cage was shot in Melbourne, and there's one bit where Ghost Rider's on a footbridge over the Yarra, and he rides into the water and goes under and comes out. And I was going, well, okay, that's not real. Even a supernatural being is going to fucking die if they go underwater in the Yarra. That shit will just kill you.
Yeah.
And that like, sadly, I feel slightly compelled to make jokes, but because there's rowing clubs on the Yarra, there have been cases where someone's been in their kayak and they've flipped, as kayaks do, and they've inhaled at the wrong time and they've fucking died because they didn't drown. They inhaled such toxic waste from the river. They fucking died. No, we don't have to imagine an Australian Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider was shot in Melbourne. Safi, you say Australia is a desert. That's an exaggeration. Only 75% of the continent's a desert. Okay? And then another 20% is semi-arid and 5% is not. So,
we have
not
tropical. We have tropics. We have tropical
We
rainforests.
have lovely tropical and temperate rain. It's just, 75% of the land.
We have swamps. We have
yeah, we have
land.
swamps. To hell with you. So, Rays, Brisbane has Bane in its name. And sorry, hi Celtic, by the way. I'm doing weird things with things. We are kind of world champions in things that were cool. My personal favorite is the tree that grows in some of the rainforest areas in Queensland that has these spines on it that the pain is so bad.
Oh, the Gimpy plant.
The Gimpy plant. We've talked about this before. People who end up in hospital are screaming in agony and beg the hospital staff to kill them because the amount of pain they're in. And that's a fucking tree. We have a fucking tree that will inflict so much pain on you that you beg people to kill you. And it's like, what the fuck? Oh, Maiko, we actually do have so many beautiful parrots. Just in my neighborhood, the rainbow lorikeets that are in my neighborhood look so exotic. People would love them. And they're just annoying, loud bitches. Yeah, they're just so fucking... But also, even I love just almost our bog standard parrots, the sulfur-crested cockatoos, the galahs, the pink and grey on the galahs, which is so mundane to me. People in Europe and the Americas think it's a really exotic-looking bird with the pink and grey feathers, and they are quite beautiful. And also because they're talkers, that's a whole thing. I grew up, we had a sulfur-crested cockatoo as a pet that was a pretty impressive talker. My two favorite things it would do, it did a really good dog impression. It absolutely legit sounded like, kind of like a chihuahua. It had a little voice. We had a bigger dog, but it had I guess a smaller voice box than our dog. So when it barked, it legit sounded like a chihuahua or something. And the other thing,
dogs don't have a voice box.
Okay, sure. I was that's my ignorance.
Voice box is the larynx.
Yeah, the larynx. No, I get it. I get it. That's
larynx.
my ignorance coming out here.
Well, actually,
yeah, and my mum's name was Patricia, and her friends called her Pat, and they used to come to the back. We never had our back door locked. They would come to the back door and knock and call to her. They go, Pat, and so our cockatoo would hear that all the time, and so our cockatoo would always go, Pat, Pat. So my mum thinks one of her friends is out there, and it's our cockatoo being a dick.
I love it.
It's good.
Oh, the yardworms, the giant worms. Oh, they're great.
Oh yeah, no, the giant worms in Gippsland. They are. You literally, apparently, you hear them. They're so loud, you hear them moving under the ground. You hear these vibrations of them moving. Trippy as fuck. So, Hannah, your favorite thing about everything will kill you.
Tremors right there. But also we have quokkas.
Oh, which are just the cutest thing ever. They appear to be smiling.
And have no fear or of anything.
Which has led to some unfortunate things, but you can get great, if you're not a piece of shit, you can get great selfies with a quokka.
Yeah.
On Rottnest Island. Yes, that's fair, Micro. The English are weak. Australia and the US are English 2.0. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's fair. That is absolutely fair. So, Hannah, your aunt was here from England, freaking out about how beautiful noisy miners are. We kind of just have bog stands. We've got the Indian miners, the noisy miners, which are native. Magpies. I fucking love magpies. I think magpies are beautiful birds. And because everyone here feeds them, because other people go, oh, do they swoop? No, everyone here feeds them. And the magpies, and there's a lot of magpies in my neighborhood, but they're just like, no, humans are cool. They give us food. It's only in areas where they have strangers that they swoop them and whatnot. But it's so cool
Yeah.
because now we're in breeding season, so we'll see groups of 3. So it's like male, female, and juvenile. And you can tell the juvenile because they can't. Magpies have this beautiful song. They have this beautiful warble they do. It's an absolute beautiful song. But the juveniles can't do it, and they just go, "Rah, rah." And you go, oh, okay, yes. Because, okay, the difference, the black and white patterning on the magpies, adult males, their back is pure white. Adult females, their back is kind of grey. It's a mix of white and black feathers. And juveniles, their back is also grey, because juvenile males, their back doesn't go completely white until they're adult. So when you see a group of 3, there'll be 1 with a white back and 2 with grey backs. And you go, I wonder which one's the mother and which one's the juvenile. And one of them will just go, blah, blah. Yeah, okay, that's the juvenile. They don't know how to do that really nice warble that the adults do. Oh, yeah, no, for real, though, magpies are most famous for swooping in nesting season, but when I lived in Eastern Kilda, there was a park near where we were, and I found out the Indian miners are swoopers. I didn't actually know that. And then I was just walking through the park and an Indian miner swooped me. So there's actually a video on my YouTube channel of in nesting season, I'm doing my thing of walking through with my camera on a monopod and doing a walk and talk and going, I think if I just walk through here, some psycho bird's got, and I'm wearing a hat because I don't want it to hit me in the head. And I'm walking along going, I think if I just walk through here, some psycho bird's going to go at me. And yeah, one just goes douche. And it's so fast. And because I wasn't, it's like a 24 frames per second video. It's only in frame for like 1 frame. It just like comes in at high speed and just douche right off the top of my hat. And what's really funny is my reaction is a second after it does that. So when I put it in slow motion, the bird comes in and goes douche and flies out of frame. And then I go, ah!
So Hannah, that would get tourists straight up killed. Death by cassowary.
Oh, God. Tell shitbag tourists take selfies with the dinosaur murder birds.
Yeah.
Damn.
Also,
a bird that actually has a horn on its head. What the fuck is that about?
And fucking raptor claws as well.
And raptor claws and emus have the raptor claws, but cassowaries have a fucking horn on their head. What the hell is that about?
And they're fucking 6 foot, 7 foot tall, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah. And here's the thing. Cassowaries are territorial and a little bit violent. Emus
they're also a little bit like timid of humans.
Yeah, but they will in nesting season. In nesting season, a cassowary will go you. But emus are inquisitive. Cassowaries aren't inquisitive. Normally a cassowary will go the fuck away from you. But emus will come right up to you and go, what's your story then? And this is this 7-foot bird just with a big fucking beak taking a real interest in you. And it's like, not cool. Not cool.
Yeah.
So cassowaries will either run away from you or get really territorial and attack you. But emus are really inquisitive. Emus will come up and go, what's your story then? And you go, hey, buddy, what the fuck? And
so I'm curious because Celtic King has said
wants to reincarnate as a magpie.
Have you ever seen a movie called The Lobster?
Oh God, where yes, if you don't find your life partner, you turn into an animal, and you get to choose.
They turn you into an animal.
Yeah, and you get to choose what you turn into.
You get to choose. So when because I watched that movie, and the first time I watched it, I was like, I wonder what I would choose. and I decided a cockatoo.
Cockatoos are pretty cool.
Firstly, flying is cool as fuck.
Yes.
Secondly, they can live to be 100 years old, so you get a good lifespan.
They do actually, if they don't get killed, they can live a long time.
Yeah, and they got class. Like
Yeah.
they hang out in social groups. They've got personalities, and they're intelligent, and they're classy as fuck.
Sulfur-crested cockatoos have fun. They do stuff purely for fun. That's what people don't understand. That my two favorite facts about sulfur-crested cockatoos, because okay, they rip into farmers' crops. It's like there's a wheat field, yay! Let's just eat all the grain. Farmers don't like that and show up with a shotgun to shoot them. One cockatoo will keep watch while the others are all ripping into the grain. And when they see the human coming, they'll shout a warning and fly off, and all the cockatoos fly off. To the extent, it was the name of the person in illegal gambling dens in Sydney and Melbourne who stood lookout for the cops, was called the cockatoo. I saw one in Chinatown in Sydney. It tripped me the fuck out. I didn't know they still had cockatoos. This guy was in Chinatown in Sydney, and this guy was just standing in the street like anyone else, and he walked over to a nondescript door, pushed a doorbell, and walked away. And I thought, what the fuck was that? And I looked, and there were two cops walking up the street. There was an illegal gambling place upstairs, and he just hit the doorbell to go, there are cops, so just make sure the deadlocks are on, and if you have to hide everything. But the lookout for illegal gambling dens was called a cockatoo, because sulfur-crested cockatoos are so social, they'd nominate someone to be the lookout and do them. My second favorite thing is sulfur-crested cockatoo do stuff for fun. They just fuck around for fun. Like down near St Kilda Beach, you'll often get them, and you'll see them, and they'll just hang off the power lines. Like they can sit on a power line like a pigeon or whatever, but then you'll get one who's just hanging upside down and flapping their wings around and making noises. And they're just like, Kevin, shut up. What the fuck are you doing here? It's fun. Hang upside down for a while. It's fun. And there was a video came out only a year or so ago in one of the laneways in Melbourne, where there were apartments in one of the really narrow laneways. And the people had a balcony, and they had pot plants on their balcony. A sulfur-crested cockatoo was up there, and it was just dragging pot plants to the edge of the balcony and dropping them into the laneway. People are walking along, and a fucking pot plant comes down and goes, smash, and people go, the fuck? And there's this sulfur-crested cockatoo doing it just for fun. It's just like, no, this will be hilarious.
Great.
Watch this. Just drag this pot plant over and then drop it off the edge of the balcony onto the... Sulfur-crested cockatoos do shit just because it's funny. And it's...
Well, in the lobsterverse,
yeah,
I'm a sulfur-crested cockatoo.
I love that about them, that they have a sense of fun. They are amused by things. And yeah, most major cities have a Chinatown. Not all, but most major cities have a Chinatown. It's real. No, the Chinese government do it because most of the Chinatowns date back to the 19th century, and often that's gold rush related, both in the Americas and Australia, definitely. The Chinese migrants in the 19th century was gold rush related. So Hannah, pigeons, a hospital used to work. Oh, yeah. No, pigeons can get pretty creative with getting food, setting off door sensors so they can get inside and get food from the food court. Yeah. Yeah, Mrs. Angry's lad is a pigeon adopter. He rescues injured pigeons and nurses them back to health. And he has, I'm sure I've said this before, he has one that he rescued as a juvenile, like it would have died, like it fell out of a nest or something. And he rescued it, and it imprinted on him, and it's his constant companion now, this pigeon that's imprinted on him, and they're like a married couple as far as the pigeon's concerned. So
He
It's
can
fine.
never get a partner.
no. Hello, Laura. My personal favorite is he occasionally puts the pigeon out in the backyard because it can fly if it wants to, but it doesn't want to. He'll just put it out in the backyard occasionally to exercise a bit. And we've got like a mirror sitting there, and the pigeon will strut up to the mirror and see this other pigeon there, and then just really puff up and go, "What's your fucking problem, mate? You want to go? You want to go? Oh yeah, you want to go?" And so it's facing off against this mirror, and it's just really puffing up and going, "I'll fuck you up. I'll fuck you up. You want me to fuck? I'll do it." And then occasionally it looks behind the mirror, and it's like it
Yep.
goes, "The fuck did he go? Where did he fucking go?" And then comes back to the front of the mirror. There he is, that fucker. Like you thought you'd get away. And it spends ages just posturing to a mirror, and I just find it hilarious.
Remember when that pigeon met my duck?
Yes.
Not even a real duck.
Yeah. No, it gets pretty territorial. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Hannah saw a woman who had a homing pigeon. She has to go find it, bring it home. Oh yeah, well again, Mrs. Angry's lad, sometimes he'll take his pigeon to uni, and so it starts all sorts of conversations because people are going like, "What do you got? A pigeon? What the hell? Why do you have a pigeon?" And so he'll tell the whole story about Richard, and so he has really interesting conversations with people because he's got a pigeon with him, and it's just like. And yes, Micro, this pigeon acts like a crackhead, definitely. But we also have these other birds, some spotted doves and whatnot, and it tries to go, "My fucking territory, fuck off." And it's always funny to me watching the hierarchy of various birds in the backyard. Like the Indian miners are very aggro and territorial, and we'll get the native wattle birds come on, and they don't like the miners. If the miners, they're like 3 times bigger than the miners, but if the miners hassle them, they'll take off. Magpies will retaliate against them again because magpies are so much bigger than the minor birds. They'll retaliate against them. But my personal favorite is when the ravens come in, and they're so fucking big. They're like twice the size of magpies, so they're like 4 or 5 times the size of the Indian miners. And the Indian miners try to get my territory, and a magpie will fight them. A raven just fucking ignores them. It's like, whatever. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Fuck,
Someone's
dude.
talking about ducks in the chat. Hand.
Pet duck turned up a balcony fruit sleeve. Duck doesn't know how to duck. Yeah, suddenly you have a duck. There you go.
I knew someone with a pet duck who had a fear of deep water. So he liked to go in the water, but if his feet weren't touching the bottom, he freaked the fuck out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I love that. Yvette said, "Yeah, no, the duck is failing to duck. Someone needs to take care of it." And her dog liked the duck, so she kept it. And the dog
Nice.
thinks the duck is its pet, and the duck thinks it's a dog. Again, ducks imprint. That's the thing
Yeah.
ducks do. They imprint. Normally when they're a duckling, but I could kind of see a confused adult duck just going, "Do you accept me? Okay, I'm with you now. Okay, it's cool." Ducks have personality. That's cool.
Ducks are the
Geese are
best.
just psychos, but ducks are cool. I've heard of people in Queensland keeping geese in their backyards instead of dogs for 2 reasons. One, they're a good alarm because if someone tries to break in, jumps over the back fence, the goose will make a lot of noise. Second, they're kind of psycho-territorial and they will bite people who jump over the back, which is a very nasty shock for a lot of people. A reasonably large goose coming straight at them with murder in its eyes is a whole thing. It's not something you want to be on the receiving end of them. So, Kilter, you have a raven near your home? Fuck the miner birds up. Yeah. The miners will give a raven shit, and the raven is literally 5 times or more the mass of a miner, and it's just like, because one of them, there's quite not as many as there are magpies, but there are quite a few of these Australian ravens in my, like jet black. They're beautiful birds. One of them flew, and it was not that far from my head, and the noise it made as it went by, you get used to them, and you don't realize how big they're like, as big as a small dog. They're fucking, and the wingspan on, they displace a lot of air when they fly. And one of them flew, and it wasn't swooping me or anything. It just flew, and it wasn't that far from my head. And the noise as it went over was like, oh yeah, they're fucking big. Oh cool.
Hannah, that is the best reason to keep geese, to because of Eshays.
Oh yeah, scare the Eshays off. Yes. They're way better because it's kind of funny that the geese will scare them off because it's humiliating for them as well. Like being chased off by a big dog, you don't have to feel bad about it. But if a goose chases you away, it's like quite humiliating. Micro wants to be a duck because everyone would pat. Oh no, you sorry. I thought you wanted to walk like a duck. You want a duck to take for walks. Yeah, okay. Oh, Micro.
Okay, so
look, it varies. The problem, and this is the problem Hannah has. It's kids who get a dumb idea of I'm going to be gangster, and it's one thing they act like dicks, but what really troubles me is they fuck up their whole lives. They do really stupid stuff. They don't have any consequential thinking, and they fuck up their whole lives with this ridiculous gangster thing.
But they're also like usually upper middle class. So they haven't been taught consequences.
Yeah, they don't know consequences.
And also they score brownie points by doing the dumbest shit possible. So they don't target they target people like old people and people who can't defend themselves and shit like that. And they do dumb shit like steal people's shoes for some reason. And just the dumbest shit possible.
Yeah. Hello, Laura, by the way.
Hello there. How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing today?
I'm not actually very well at the moment. I've got a cold or the flu. I'm not sure which. But either way, for the last few days, I've spent more time sleeping than I have with my eyes open.
Fair enough.
So, I've not been very well. However, I have lost 3 kilos in the past 2 days.
I saw you post that on the socials. I was like, yep, one of my guaranteed weight loss programs is extreme illness. It's not a good weight loss program, but it works if you're really sick.
Yeah. Effectively, I spent so much time asleep, sort of doing my sort of physical recovery, I suppose you could say, that I wasn't awake enough to think, oh, I'm hungry, I think I should eat something. Or, oh, I'm going to the toilet, I'll come back via the fridge, which is always a problem.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I just want to throw to Micro, like, yes, youth criminals in the USA are far scarier than chavs and eshays, because chavs and eshays tend to find it very hard to get firearms, whereas it seems to be less of an issue in the US to get firearms.
What are eshays?
Chavs. It's a particular subgroup of kids who think they're gangster and they cause shit and they're really fucking annoying. And I think the thing that upsets me most is they don't realize how much they're fucking up their own lives.
They have no problem getting knives, though.
Yes, knives are a whole thing. I mean, fuck, you just have to sharpen a screwdriver. That's another thing. But yeah.
Yeah.
I have to admit, when I saw essays, I thought to myself, is that the second time Micro's typoed the word essay?
No, they're called essays, and it's just they're chavs. They're just stupid kids who think they're tough and hard, and they do incredibly stupid shit to make themselves feel like big gangster types, and they fuck up people's lives.
Yeah.
I love this, Hannah. Not talking about anyone in particular, but essays are surprisingly scared of retail employees telling them to fuck off. Not mentioning anyone in particular, Hannah, but you've just heard that if a retail employee aggressively tells them to fuck off, they freak out. Yeah, it's just dumb shit. It's just kids who get stupid ideas and they've got no consequential thinking, and they do dumb shit.
Yeah, I think I already know a solution to the chav problem. You just poison the town's chip supply.
Yes, that would work as well. Micro, yeah, look, it might be daddy issues for a lot of them, definitely. Yes, yeah, Hannah's saying definitely not her Saturday afternoon. She's not going around and making essays cry. It's just like, yeah. It's yes, this is like societal shortcomings. But yeah, which is again, when I say like, you know, I'm concerned because these little idiots are fucking up their own lives and what.
Angry, you just muted yourself.
I think I unplugged my mic. I was moving the mic cable.
I have to reload StreamYard.
Okay.
I'll be back in a sec.
All right.
Yeah, I'd normally turn my camera on, but I look frightful at the moment. I haven't shaved for 3 days, so
you can make your own choice. So Hannah's made a group pick up their scooters, walk in single file, pick them up and walk, and they did. Sorry, I'm just loving the idea of Hannah just being like a drill sergeant and just, you know, scaring the shit out of these issues. So cool. Sorry, it just really appeals to me. Yeah, like Micro, a lot of the essays probably don't have great home life. They don't come from broken homes. They don't have to have come from broken homes. It's just a lack of guidance, and it's just like, God damn. So Hannah's now just admitting to terrifying essays, which is very funny.
There was also it's not so much a thing so much anymore, but there was a thing in the UK where you had, I suppose you could say, upper class chavs, as in people who like the idea of the lifestyle, but you know, weren't council house and violent, which is where the acronym may have come from.
Yeah, kind of. Sorry, I'm thinking of the old Blur song, "Common People."
Well, that's the thing about essays. They're usually upper middle class.
Yeah, and they want to be gangster. They get into the whole hip hop thing.
Yeah, but like they're always wearing like designer tracksuits.
Yes, they're wearing hundreds of dollars worth of clothes. Yes.
Yeah.
You know what? This might make you chuckle. So the modelling period that I do my railway stuff in is the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
That was when half the population wore shell suits.
Oh God, yes, that was a great fashion in the UK, the shell suit.
Yeah. So when it comes to people
by Russian lobsters.
Yeah.
Slavs squatting in tracksuits. Again, Hannah, I fucking love this image of you just completely controlling them, just going, boys, point to the floor. What? Get out. We're not doing anything. We got cameras. Get out. And just like Hannah being a complete tyrant. Oh, she's going, fucking mean lady. I'm fucking gonna go home now. It's just, I absolutely love that as a visual.
So that, you know what that reminds me of, and I'm putting down. This is how great this story is. I'm putting down my crochet.
Putting down the crochet. Okay.
Okay, patting a cat,
Yeah.
and okay, having a sip of my gin.
Yeah.
So when I was 18, I lived in this house with a bunch of skinheads,
Yeah.
and they weren't neo-Nazis or anything. They were, one of them was actually Jewish. He was have you ever heard of the term Barus? They're like Jewish skinheads.
Okay.
It's a play on the word Jew, but one of the boys, Bruce.
Yeah.
So anyway, they were rough. I was nerdy. I was homeless. Don't ask me how it happened. I was living there, and yeah, it was not a great time, but you know, it's totally a thing. Even NoFX wrote a song about it.
Yeah.
ages and ages ago. It's totally a thing.
Yeah, the original skinheads in the UK came out of rude boy culture, which was Jamaican. So the original skinheads were a million miles removed from racist. Because ska, the original music they were into, was just a version of reggae, and it was only in the 80s with the National Front and the racist far right came in that skinheads started to be associated with far right racists. Up until the early 80s, the dominant skinhead strain was not racist, was not right wing.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, this household of like pot smoking, drug dealing, skinhead and co people, and there's me on my computer in my room nerding out about shit and not I never smoked and stuff like that, and like it didn't matter what happened. Like I couldn't tell them to do shit, except if I was there, no one dared smoke in the house ever.
Oh, okay.
Like that was the one thing they just didn't do, and I don't know how I did that, but that was the thing.
That was the thing.
Like society had somehow trained these people to not smoke in the house if I was there, and I just took advantage of that.
Nice.
So
sorry, I'm now falling into the Gen X curse of relating everything to early seasons of The Simpsons. Marco, bring up the stereotype of the self-hating Jew. I just remember the episode where Krusty the Clown, well, in a previous one, had been identified as being Jewish, like his dad was a rabbi, Herschel Krostowski. But when Krusty found out he'd never done his bar mitzvah, so he wasn't a Jewish man, and he does this crying thing, and he's in the radio. He's just going, for all these years, I thought I was a self-hating Jew. It turns out I'm just an anti-Semite. And Rainier Wolfcastle is walking past as he says that and puts his arm around Krusty's shoulder and goes, "Come, Krusty, we have much to discuss." Which is just this meta joke about Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, no!
It was such a meta joke. That's what The Simpsons used to be really good at, doing these multi-level jokes.
Yeah.
And it was just like Rainier Wolfcastle was taking Krusty off to be a full-blown anti, and it was just like, Jesus, what the fuck? That just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I also
Far
love the
out.
multi-level jokes. Like Rainier Wolfcastle was obviously Arnold Schwarzenegger, but also the name, because there were the rumors that Schwarzenegger's dad was a Nazi and maybe Schwarzenegger had Nazi sympathies. I think it turns out Schwarzenegger's not a Nazi. He's in fact very anti-fascist, but his dad may or may not have been a Nazi. But it was this weird meta joke they did. The original Volkswagen, the people's car, was a thing that was sponsored by Hitler. And the original logo of a Volkswagen wasn't a VW. It was this wolf over a castle. Until like the 70s, that was the logo on the steering wheel of a Volkswagen, this wolf castle. So Rainier Wolfcastle was a Nazi reference, which was a reference to the rumors about Schwarzenegger. So that in itself was a meta joke, calling him Rainier Wolfcastle. But this one with Krusty going, I thought I was a self-hating Jew, but I'm just an anti-Semite. And Rainier Wolfcastle wants to take him into his breast at that point. It was just like, God damn. There was so many layers in that one.
Yeah, now we're in the situation where if you say, you know what, bombing civilians and children and women isn't cool.
Oh God, yeah, no, the current world situation. And again, it's so weird how the political and the dominant political and media narrative is don't support Palestine and Palestinians, and the dominant public opinion globally is fuck that noise, fuck this. And it's the disconnect between the political and media narrative and what a clear majority of the global public think is stunning. Because
they still refuse to listen.
And media outlets are marginalizing or even firing people who speak out against the actions of the Israeli military and the Israeli government, who say something supportive about, like Susan Sarandon got dropped by her agency because she was vocal, and a number of actors and journalists have been dropped from things for saying things supportive of Palestinians. And it's just like, you look at it, the overwhelming majority of the public are in complete contrast to the overwhelming majority of the political and media narrative. It's really wild.
Yeah.
And yes, Rays, I also hate the suffering of innocents, but and that's what rational people are saying. Like, yes, Hamas murdering a bunch of people is fucked up and inexcusable. The Israeli military murdering thousands of people is actually a war crime. It's a textbook war crime.
So I don't know. Maybe I'm barking up the wrong, up the wrong tree or something. But you know how the F-35 Joint Strike Fighter Lightning II.
Yeah.
So how it's like worth billions and billions and billions of dollars.
Costs billions. Whether it's worth billions is another thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you have a look at one, there's this little sort of bit at the bottom of the nose which has the sensors. The sensors, and they're made by a company called Elbit, which is a Israeli company.
A lot of high tech stuff in Israel. Yes.
So it's like, oh, maybe that's the reason why we're kind of palling up to them.
That's not the reason.
No. Okay, here's a weird and trippy thing. Because everyone, like on YouTube, is searching things about Israel Palestine. Really old videos are propping up on front page and recommended and whatnot. And there was a Yes Minister episode about Israel Palestine, and I watched it, and it was the complete reverse. It was trippy as fuck. Like in the 70s, the dominant political narrative was basically the Zionists are bad and we should defend it was the PLO back in the day.
Yeah.
And the fact that it was the literal reverse did my head in. Rays, Palestine don't kill innocent people. Hamas are murderers. It's fucked up. It's fucked up and inexcusable. It's like that whole thing about, do you condemn Hamas? Without doubt, that was fucking murder. And it was horrific and brutal and inexcusable. It's just with the people who say, like, do you condemn Hamas? I just want to throw back. Well, do you condemn Israel? And again, this is not the Jewish people. This is not the citizenry of Israel. This is the Israeli state and the Israeli military. And that is two very, very different things. And I'll have Micro taking the heat out. How's the weather? Chickens are cool. Good call.
Yeah, so
Good
it's
call.
it's not Palestine killing innocent people. It's Hamas killing innocent people.
Yeah, and it's not
like
the people of
Palestine
Israel or the country of Israel can't do anything. It's the government of Israel, and it's the current government. That's not saying every government of Israel has been fucked. But you don't following orders, that didn't work at Nuremberg, and it doesn't work there. Plus the number of videos that were released by the Israeli military of their soldiers gleefully doing horrific things. There is no excuse for what they're doing. Is that one of your cats meowing, Dr. Abigail?
That's me.
It's cute. I can hear a meow. It's very cute.
It's Bella. She's singing the song of her people.
That's good. There. Oh, look at that cutie.
Hello, Bella.
Yes, Micro. The Russians are just following orders there. Yeah, the following order things since Nuremberg has been put as not a defense for committing criminal acts. But anyway, again, it is dark and fucked up, and maybe what's your cat doing?
I'm not human. I'm just a cat tree now.
It does seem like that. Yes.
Hi, Bella. She wants me to go to bed.
She does seem to want to sit on you. Yes.
Yep. Because I just tried to put her down and she just dug the claws in. Oh, Bella. Come on. Get down. Come on.
Raise, anyone in the US military or the Australian military who committed war crimes, and there is abundant evidence there are people who committed war crimes, they should be on trial for their actions.
Yep. Not the whistleblowers either.
Not the whistleblowers, the ones who actually committed the crimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
But again, this is dark and fucked up, and we don't really need to spend a lot of time on it because our world is fucked up. Let's talk about chickens are cool. And
ducks are cooler.
I would actually agree. Ducks. Oh my god! Do you remember the drunk duck shirt I showed you at one point?
Yes.
Like
I don't remember
any of these shirt sites that, like, you know, I get my cocktail shirt. Are any of them having good sales? And there are some good ones at reasonable prices. And one of them had that duck shirt at quite a good price. Except this was like the remainders site, the sales site. The only sizes they had were M, which is way too small for me, and 4XL. And I recently bought a 4XL from one of them just to see how big it was. Like, how big could it be? It looks like a fucking tent when I wear it. It's like I'm really surprised in that a Chinese site, XL, which is what this is the right size for me, because I'm kind of used to their sizes being really small. So I was really surprised XL is the right size. But yeah, I thought, how big would a 4XL be? And I bought one, and it's just ridiculous. So while the duck shirt is a really, like, it's $15 or something, it's a really
Do they
good
have
price.
a sizing chart on their website?
Yeah, but they have a sizing chart, and the only sizes they have available for this shirt are medium and 4XL.
Yeah,
And
the 4XL,
Okay, so-
the 4XL is the one that you don't take in a bit, you take in a foot.
yeah, no, it literally looks like I'm wearing it. I have a 4XL one. It looks like I'm wearing a caftan when I wear it. It's
So how
big.
is the medium then?
What? Okay,
And-
medium would be way too small for me.
I'm thinking for me, your goose.
I don't know. You could try. I don't know. It's like I was taking a punt when I went the very first time I got these shirts, and I went XL. I was taking a punt, like, man, I hope that's big enough. And turns out it was.
Smell.
So I got my my big 3D printer now.
You got a new 3D printer?
Yeah, I got the big one. It's
Nice.
huge.
Still
It's
a
a-
resin print.
It's a resin one, yeah. It's big enough to do. I could 3D print a human head, although not yours, Angry, because you know.
No, okay, there are limits. Yeah, I was taking a picture with someone the other day. We were doing a selfie, and take the picture, and he looks at it and goes, "The two people in that picture have really different sized heads." And I went, "Yes, they do." It's like you have a normal sized head, and I just have a ridiculously big one.
Yeah. But anyway, it does 295 by 164 by 300 high.
Oh, and in fact, speaking of 3D
All
printing,
certainly numbers.
3D printing, Dr. Abigail, I was actually thinking of asking you for trying to find if there was a 3D print design that I could use for making clear ice. Like, it would have to be like double
Yes.
wall sort of thing.
Fella.
Because I've tried to improvise with my ice cube trays. I made a whole frame out of foam, which would have insulated it. And I tried to,
I remember
okay,
that.
now I'll put the ice cube tray in there, and it doesn't work. Like, all the water comes out. It's like really annoying.
Yes, I remember that. So okay. Yes.
Yeah. So I because
Yes.
my way of making clear ice at the moment is using the coffee cups, the double wall insulated coffee cups. And in fact, I'd realized how much of the clear ice I'd been building up. So I was using it up over the last couple of weeks. And then I realized I'd used most of it up, and I was like, oh god damn, I need to make more ice. And so I made some the other day, and one with a cup that's about this big, which means I get one bit of chunky ice out of it. And then one with my really tall one, where I get 2 bits of ice. And the small one, which of course freezes faster than the tall one. The second half had all these air bubbles in it. And I got that. But I was super pleased with the tall one. I got the timing pretty much perfect. When I turned it upside down, it came out. The end bit hadn't frozen. And I cut off the rough bits. No air bubbles at all. Cut it into 2 pieces. Perfectly clear. No air bubbles. Are going like, yes.
So short answer is absolutely possible. Long answer is we'd need to do some designing.
Yeah.
How big do you want it? Need specs. Do you want do you want it in pieces so you can take it apart? Different configurations, blah 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 blah. Do you want do you want it packed with insulation on the inside, or just air, insulation,
Sorry.
etc.
Yeah. So, I mean, I made something that would theoretically work. So I've got like, this just regular silicon ice cube tray that does big ice cubes. And then with insulating foam, because I think that like my light and easy came in, I chopped it all up into size that fit around this thing and would leave a reservoir under it, which you need. And then I cut holes in the bottom of the ice cube tray so water would go through. I thought, this should work. But then I put it in because it's not sealed and fitted. It just all the water came out everywhere. And I was like, oh,
yeah,
whatever. Fuck you, ice cube tray. Fuck you.
yeah.
So, and I had a brainwave at one point because I have these molds that actually do a really big cube. It's really funny because it's not flat and square. The cube is tilted on vertices, which in the mold makes it makes a really big ice cube, and it's got a hole in top. And I thought, okay, feasibly, I could stick that in a thing and it would push down through that, but it didn't form a seal. So when I tried to push it in on a thing, the water just flowed over, and I was like, oh, fucking whatever. Fuck you, physics.
Fuck you, physics.
I'm a victim of physics. That was the problem.
Yes. I haven't fired up my 3D printer in a while. One of the feet broke when I was moving it, and I have to print a new replacement mount for it, and because I moved shit around, and I have to recalibrate it. Blah 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 blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
I can do that, and then my gallbladder happened, and yeah,
which is a whole thing.
Yeah, but I can do something with that.
Yeah. Sorry. So
no problem.
Micro, you joke, but I did see a meme recently where someone had faked up a Lego pack that was a Lego butt plug that had all things, and the caption was, "And you thought it hurt when you trod on one," and whole big Lego butt plug. But that's a. I love that you're only half joking. Look, what's life if not being a little bit adventurous? That's what I say. God, I feel like I need one of two things. I need to either go to bed or get more ice. So we're going to keep going. If we're going to keep going, I'm going to go and get some more ice because all my ice is melted.
I'm getting tired.
You're getting tired? How's everyone else going? Because I feel like we had a peak. And
well, I've got a last thing to say. So, do you remember I had my this inheritance coming?
Yes, you did mention something about that. Yes.
Yeah. So the inheritance arrived, and and it was a lot more than I expected.
Ooh.
So I was expecting something like 20 to 25,000, and it was 41,000.
Fuck yeah!
There were five.
I need a new computer. I'm not going to lie. And the exchange rate at the moment is pretty solid. And
well,
I don't know. I'd be willing to do a lot for a new computer. Just saying.
Well, I've got lots of things that I want to do, and one of the things might be coming your way.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
That'd be fun.
So, choices between a computer or my lovely self, and it's like I'm now worried about what the answer might be.
Abigail's got to put serious thought into it.
Oh, that's tough.
Shall I say what I'm thinking? Is that what that chin is doing?
You should definitely spend it on yourself.
Yes, being light-hearted. Yes.
Yeah.
So I already went and blew £4,000 on model trains and model airplanes and stuff that I probably don't need.
Yeah, you should do
That's
whatever the hell you
No.
want.
Yeah, that's freaking awesome.
Yeah. And then I figured out how much. There's a model railway shop in Scotland that, you know, I didn't have so much money coming in all the time, so I would pay them every month, and they would keep it for months at a time. And just as soon as I get close to paying off everything, the big pile of new stuff that arrives, and so I've always been a bit sort of behind. Well, then there's sort of new stuff that's really crucial to the railway that I want to make, that is announced, and when you've got coaches that are like 60 quid each these days, you know, and it's like, so wagons and some locos and other bits and bobs, and basically next thing you know, I have a bill with them for £9,880. So basically, I've knocked £15,000 pounds off already.
Wow.
Hot damn.
But it's really cool stuff. It's not like this isn't good
it's
stuff, and it'll last
No.
me like the rest of my life. So I'm not wasting it on rubbish. It's like
That's your passion. You
It is
don't need to.
absolutely
You don't need to justify it. That is awesome. That is
it's not,
like,
um.
yeah, totally fair.
So like I say, I look awful. Like I say, if you could see me close, you'd see, you know, so much was there. At the moment, I'm just surrounded with boxes of stuff that I've gone and bought, you know. So so I have locomotive. I got 3 of these. I got my last one of those. Oh my god, I've been after that for ages. So I now own 7 to, you know, some of them get converted, others not. And I got model airplane kits. So the US Navy has, do you know what an AWACS is? It's got a big massive dome that spins on the roof.
Yes.
Okay, so
The AWAC.
yeah,
It's like
So-
a surveillance / communications plane.
so for the US Navy, they've got a version of it with a big massive dome on the top.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't. I didn't just spend 70 quid on this. I spent £80, £84, whatever it was, for its bigger cousin, the Greyhound, which is a cargo plane based upon the same chassis. So basically, this on steroids. You know. I tell you what it's like. It's a Ute, to use the analogy, and then there's the stupid American Hummer type of thing.
Yeah.
I got the Hummer.
So, yeah. You got
I got the Hummer. Yeah.
Okay. I get
So
it.
I've just been buying stuff here and there. I got some, this is something that's quite simple. I got some helping hands.
Hey, nice.
Hey.
Wanted to get some of those for ages. Weirdly, came with an extra.
A spare.
Yeah. However, not wanting to waste on something, I've drawn up a 3D printed part so that I can have a double one sticking out of
Nice.
one of them.
Nice.
That's in the 3D printer right now. So, I bought. Do you remember I told you about the Stream Deck?
Stream Deck.
Yes.
Yeah, Stream
Yeah.
Deck is like a little.
Yeah, it's like a button box with LEDs in the buttons, and
Yeah.
you can
So
do
it's,
fancy things. With
it's this little box, and if I plug it,
program it to do
Yeah.
lots of things for streaming or anything really.
Yes.
there you go. So, for playing PUBG,
Oh,
Ooh.
nice. Yeah.
I've had this one for like a year and a half or something now. So I went and bought its cousin, the big one.
Oh,
Whoa,
nice.
jeez.
So it's
Okay.
like so much more useful. I can play Elite with it as well.
Nice.
Elite has a lot of buttons. This has more buttons than the old one. So I've even got a light switch. I bought a light switch, and it's a remote controlled one. And it's the glass.
Oh.
So it's just a glass panel with a little circle on it.
Yeah.
You can turn it on, but it also comes with a remote. So I can sit here and adjust the lights, and it has as a dimmer for it, and it works on with the LED type lights as well.
Oh, cool.
So that's pretty cool. But what I might end up doing is putting a little Starfleet overlay.
Yeah, nice.
So, it does it, but it looks like, you know, a Star Trek control pad outside of quarters kind of thing. So
A little LCAS panel.
exactly.
Nice.
You know, so it's like, again, nothing wasted. All these things will be useful. You know.
Yep.
You know, it's really cool to have. Like I say, I need to wire it in though, but I'm going to wait until I feel a little better. Like I say, at the moment, you can hear my voice. And like I said, I spent more hours sleeping than I have awake over the last 3 days. Someone else, I started karate again. So that's going to help me lose some weight. And if someone messes me, I can kick their ass as well. But that's more of a defensive strategy, as in if I've got no other way out of it. So chavs beware. So, but yeah, it's actually been quite good. I remember the moves. I did it 25 years, more like 28 years ago. And I had to give it up because I had to babysit my little brother all the time. It was a bit disappointing me back then. I had obligations. But so yeah, I've been doing. You know, I'm still waiting for a bunch of stuff to come that could arrive any time now. I don't know. I mean, I spent. How much was I spending with Hattons? I can't remember. Too late, it happens. But yeah, I've just bought so many things, so many cool stuff. I mean, I bought 2 of the latest US Navy planes, the Super Hornet. So it's basically the old Hornet, but on steroids.
Okay.
It's an F-14.
No, F-18.
Oh, F-18. Sorry. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I already had one. So I've already got a G, which is the Growler, and Australia's got some of those.
We do.
They're
They featured in the movie Battleship.
Oh god, that movie was so
Right at the end.
They're jamming aircraft.
Yeah.
So yeah, but you know, the difference between them is very minor, and so it was like, right, I'll get one of them because the prices on them now have gone fucking through the roof. You know, when I was buying them, when I was buying load, like, I don't know, about 8 years ago or something, they were like 20 to 25, 41.
Dang. All right.
You know, so.
All right.
Yeah,
you know what?
Pretty cool.
I'm
sorry, I've been whittling on.
No, that's good. I actually love seeing all that stuff. But I am going to eat my cherry and go to bed because I've got some stuff I got to do tomorrow. So I hope you all take care. Yum, that's yummy. I'm going to go sleepy bobos. Thank you everyone for hanging out tonight.
Good night.
Thank you for coming in and sharing, Laura. Really enjoyed it. I'm doing date night tomorrow night, but I'll probably stream on Sunday for anyone who wants to hang out. But, you know, whatever you're doing, look after yourself. Take care. Have a fun time.